Good morning, I'm Dylan Gonzalez. The Ohio State women's basketball team lost to Notre Dame 83-73 at the Shot in what was the second round of the NCAA tournament. This is now the third year in a row the Buckeyes have suffered a home loss in the round of 32. The Columbus Blue Jackets will try to get back in the win column when they visit the Philadelphia Flyers tonight. Coverage starts at 6:30 right here on The Fan. Former Ohio State Buckeye wide receiver Jackson Smith-Njigba got a bag yesterday. JSN signed a 4-year, $168 million deal, making him the highest-paid receiver in NFL history. Speaking of former Buckeyes, Marvin Harrison Jr.'s brother Jet Harrison was ranked the #1 recruit by Rivals yesterday for the 2028 class, and he will visit Ohio State this weekend. This update is sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union, voted the best credit union for the past 8 years in a row by CBUS Top Picks. Visit BMIFCU.org to learn more.
Breakfast time!
Hello, welcome to T-Bone and Tyvis. Can I take your order?
Just want a little breakfast.
Hey, you want some crabs? Because I got some of them.
Get ready to drive through the intersection of football, food, and fun. Featuring producer Dylan.
We're the 5 best rappers of all time.
Special guests.
You serious?
And you. Wake up.
For what?
It's time for T-Bone and Tyvis.
It's Hot Take Tuesday!
Oh, perfect day for me to be in for T-Bone because I got a hot take on a Hot Take Tuesday. It's going to tick some people off, and especially Reimer at the Fan down there in Columbus. I'm Matt Fontaine in for T-Bone. He's Tyvis' pal. Dylan Gonzalez alongside on a Hot Take Tuesday. You can always get those in on Twitter, YouTube chat. We'll sprinkle them in as we go. And we got plenty coming up over the next 3 hours. A big one tonight for the Jackets. Man, am I excited for that. Tyvis, there's nothing like meaningful hockey coming down the stretch. Dean Evison, I don't even know if I want to bring this up today, but he had some comments that I want to get to about the Jackets. Speaking of former head coaches, Jarvis Landry ripping into Kevin Stefanski on his podcast. Some things for Ohio State basketball, what they need to get done this offseason. You heard about it, Jet Harrison, #1 for the recruiting class coming up. We'll get to all of it. But time is a Hot Take Tuesday for you, man. How you living this morning, man?
Oh, I am doing fantastic. You know, I'm still trying to get over this little cold that I have, starting to get towards the end of it, so that makes me feel a lot better.
Do you have any old wives' tales about getting rid of a cold? Because somebody told me that as soon as you feel the ick, you know, like when you're like, oh, man, I got that like tingle in my throat or my sinuses, they told me to take 2 shots of apple cider vinegar. And apple cider vinegar, you're supposed to take shots of it just in general. There's a lot of like health benefits and all that. Bro, somebody told me that. It worked like on the first 3 colds that I tried it with over years. It's not worked for me since, but I don't want to get a cold just to try it again. But that's always been like my old wives' tale when it comes to colds.
No, I'm more of I feel it coming, so let me enjoy these last couple of days because it's going to be bad for about a week.
Well, and kids, like, they just find the new illnesses. They find the new sicknesses that you've never run into when you were a kid. So, yeah, it's always a fun time. The weather changes are never easy.
I think that's what did it. I think the weather change is what got me because – like this started, I think I started feeling sick like last Tuesday, which I think last Sunday was like, not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before that, it was like 70 degrees, and then the next day it snowed, and I think that messed me up.
The barometric pressure, man. That's what does it. Like when your sinuses start to really kill, it's because the barometric pressure changed. Look at me being a meteorologist. Get Meredith in here. Ask her about barometric pressure and all that. But yeah, that's like when and I know you got to still catch an illness. You got to catch a virus going outside when it's cold. Does it get you a cold? I understand that. But it doesn't make it easy when we're battling all through that. So yeah, same thing. Like I know you drive to Cleveland a lot. Why is it snowing again? Why did it snow again?
I saw that. I feel so bad for y'all because I didn't get a drop down here.
No, they said there was something weird about, like, I'm not kidding, man. As soon as you left Cleveland, I was in Brunswick yesterday, and there was snow on the ground then, so I guess Medina County, you got there. But also, it's because I put my snowblower away. It's because I said we were done with snow that it's happening. So blame me. It's my bad. All good, but I'm done with it. I'm right there with you. Tough loss last night for the Ohio State ladies. They fall to Notre Dame, 83-73. Hannah Hidalgo, she is one of the best players in the country. She goes off for 26. But Tyvis, obviously the postseason for the men and the women didn't go the way to expect. We'll talk about the guys coming up in just a little bit. I caught a few minutes of the game. And, I know Ohio State this technically was a 3-8 matchup, but, when I looked at Notre Dame, even with 10 losses on the year, I felt like they were higher or better than maybe a 6 seed, and mostly because they had one of the best players in the country in Hannah Hidalgo, and go figure, she goes off for 26 and helps lead the Irish to a win last night.
I've been hyping this game up since last week, and it went exactly how I figured. Not as far as the score goes, but as far as the two superstars. I knew that they would give you a banger, and I kept telling everybody that would listen, I said, it's not about those two. It's not about Jelani Cambridge, and it's not about Hannah Hidalgo. It's about how those two can get the other people around them to play better, because we know what those two are going to do. Now, where I would make the biggest difference between Hannah and Jelani is an unbelievable scorer. Mm-hmm. She did she had 41 points. I mean,
right,
she's
41.
She's an unbelievable scorer. But Hannah affects the game in multiple different ways. Hannah, 5'6". I think she had 26 points, 13 rebounds, and 8 steals. Mm-hmm. To me, she was and when you watched her play, she just wanted it more. It came off as she was willing to do whatever to win this game more than anybody else out on that court. And that's what makes her so special, is because she plays with so much passion that you have to be able to match that energy, or she will run circles around you. And unfortunately, that's what happened. And I thought that we started the game off really well. It was like 11-0. We were doing a really good job. And then by halftime, we were down by I think 8 points, I want to say, at halftime. Third quarter, they made some adjustments. And I understand that, Coach McGuff was upset about some calls that he felt that they weren't getting and things like that. But when you get to these playoff games, you got to take the refs out of it. It's not about the refs. The refs going to let people play. That's just kind of what it is. So you can't go in there expecting to get certain calls. And unless it's just so egregious, I understand the frustration there, but you can't let that mess up the rest of the game.
Second quarter's where it happened. I mean, they lost the lead there. They got outscored by 10, but also, like you said, Jelani had the 41. Nobody else scored in double digits, and everybody else was shooting 25% for the Buckeyes. That's not going to be – I know as great as she is, that's not going to be a recipe for success, especially against a team like Notre Dame. I
think that for men's and women, the one thing that I think that both are missing is a big that can be effective inside. And for the women's, I think if you look at some of the best teams in the country, they always have this big that can, you can kick it down there. They can do a post move, get you some buckets down there. I just think that's the one thing that we've been missing. A lot of the times when you look at some of the past teams, a lot of our bigs for the women's team shoot threes. They're not in it. You think about Rebecca, she was a three-point shooter. She wasn't down there getting rebounds and then going back up and finishing and things like that. That wasn't her game. And I think that Elsa, she hasn't quite developed that yet. She's got a little jump shot on her as well, but her thing is to set picks, try to get some rebounds and things like that. But to be a factor inside the paint, we have not had that. And I think that's the one thing that you're missing, because you got Jelani, who's really good on the perimeter. We need somebody inside.
Another story out of the women's game last night, of course, was UConn and Aussie. They won by 53. They beat Syracuse 98-45. I can't remember, Tyvis, what the score was that I saw was in the first half, where they were up 50 to what was the halftime score? The Syracuse only scored 12 points in the first half. Here it is. UConn was up 65 to 12. Yeah. 65 to 12 at half. And obviously UConn, who is undefeated, I think, what is it now, 56-game win streak for UConn going back to last year. And I thought this was an interesting story coming out after, because Syracuse coach Felicia Legit Jack, who I know from Buffalo, up here in Cleveland, we used to call the MAC tournament. I've called dozens of MAC tournament games over my career, and she used to be the head coach at Buffalo. So I know her, from doing the game. I don't say I know her personally, but I know her from the game. She's a great coach. She's now at Syracuse. Well, after the game, she blasts the NCAA and said, quit putting us in the same bracket as Syracuse. And I just thought that was an interesting story, Tyvis, because as they seed these tournaments, they go off your regular season record, they go off basically your resume, and they seed you on out. I just want to ask you, do you think this is a legit gripe from her to say, listen, we all know who UConn is, we know how good they are, like, somebody's got to play them, but she's upset because she thought Syracuse deserved a little more respect to not be in the same bracket as UConn.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that. I mean, the thing is this. You can't really look at that. You got to worry about making sure your program is good. You can't be trying to, quote-unquote, duck smoke. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
If you're a really good team and you feel like you're a good team, you don't care who you're going up against. It's not because it's not like UConn is like, don't put us in the same bracket as UCLA. They would never say that. So,
right.
like, you need to find a way to build your program up so where you can be at that stage, because right now that's what we call loser talk on this show.
And I get that UConn is like this unstoppable train right now, but dynasties fall. I don't know when it's going to happen, but it might happen, and that's just part of the game. And I get that pretty much they have access to any recruit that they want, and Gino's got everything humming up there. I understand. I get it. But all you got to do is try to play hard and try to do your best. But just know, I get the probably – that's what I'm looking for, like the defeated attitude. You see the bracket, and like, well, we're not going to be able to beat them. So, like, what's the point of going through? But I just want to bring that up quick because I just thought that was an interesting commentary in a game last night. We got plenty more college basketball to get to, including I really love this article from 11 Warriors talking about what the Ohio State men's team needs to focus on this offseason. We'll get to that coming up as well. Cincinnati hiring Jared Calhoun. Could that impact the Buckeyes from a recruiting standpoint? And plenty of NFL. JSN cashes in. We need to drug test Chris Sims. Somebody's got to find him and put him on a drug test because when he put his wide receiver ranking out yesterday, I thought he was out of his mind. We'll get to all of that coming up right here. T-Bone and Tyvis on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good Tuesday morning to you. We are seeing our first crash of our commute, and it's happening on the north side of Columbus, really just south of Westerville. It's on 270, that eastbound direction, just passing Cleveland Avenue, and that right shoulder is currently blocked. Looking at that traffic cam this morning, we do have an active situation, at least 2 cars involved with this one. So if you're heading towards this area, once again, 270 in that eastbound direction, merge more towards that left side, and of course go slow and be safe. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
The NCAA men's road to the Final Four hits the Sweet 16 this week. Thursday stops include the South region in Houston and the West region in San Jose. Then on Friday, the East doubleheader includes the overall #1 seed Duke Blue Devils taking on Rick Pitino's 5th-seeded St. John's. Don't forget what happens in Chicago with Michigan taking on Alabama. Hear Westwood One's exclusive coverage of the NCAA tournament right here.
O'Reilly. Check engine, ABS, or maintenance light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. The service is free and provides a report with solutions verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we could recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Let me ask you something. When's the last time a contractor did exactly what they said they would? On time, on budget, didn't give you any surprises at the end. With Baths R Us, there are no surprises. These folks started in Ohio and grew by word of mouth because they do it right the first time. On time, on budget. And here's the difference with Baths R Us. They have local crews, never subcontracted. The people who show up to your door, they're trained Baths R Us employees. They aren't just some random crew that got hired last week and has no idea what they're doing in your home. Whether you need a safer bathroom to stay independent or you just want a space you're proud of, Baths R Us builds it to last. That's Baths R Us. Call today and see what it's like to work with people who actually keep their promises. 380-225-BATH. That's to call Baths R Us and deal with a company that started right here in Ohio and grew by word of mouth. Because they treat people right. They do what they say they're going to do. 380-225-BATH to call Baths R Us. Baths R Us. Bathrooms you can trust.
Call now.
Forget the pot of gold. Save some green at all 4 Coghlan Kia locations. Get 0% plus no payments for 90 days on select new Kia Sorentos, Sportages, and Tellurides. Or buy a new 2026 Kia K4 for $279 a month. Visit CoglanKia.com.
Coghlan has the car for you.
0% APR available for 48 months on select in-stock units. 90-day deferred payments. 5 for $279 per month for 84 months at 5.99% APR with approved credit through Kia Finance. See dealer for details. Ends 3/31/26.
Hey, Columbus, big news. For a limited time, get Uber One free for a full year so you could save on food and rides. That's a $96 value on us. Just use code Columbus. Get 1 year of $0 delivery fees, 10% off eligible food and grocery orders, and up to 6% Uber One credits on rides. Sign up for this limited time offer today using code Columbus and save big with Uber One. Offer valid through 3/31/26. Savings and $0 delivery fee on eligible orders and rides only. Fees and terms apply. See app for details.
Some foot issues just can't be fixed by those expensive shoe stores or shoe inserts. A foot exam from a doctor of podiatric medicine, who is the medical expert in foot and ankle care, may give solutions after doing a complete foot examination. If you suffer from foot, heel, or ankle pain, let us help you find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association so you know you are being treated by the very best.
For more information or to find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit ohiofoot.org.
Hi, the Scott Antique Markets are back again at the Ohio Expo Center, featuring hundreds of vendors with collectibles and merchandise from all over the world. The market is one weekend monthly, November through March. Build your family heirlooms. You can find everything that gets old. Just take I-71 to exit 111 to enjoy America's favorite treasure hunt. Visit thescottantiquemarket.com for more information. Come join us at the Ohio Expo Center for the Scott Antique Markets. It's huge. It's the Scott Antique Markets this weekend.
Rothman and Ice.
We're hoping to add Zach here at 2:30, hoping.
So what's the deal? So I'm just calling him and we'll see if he picks up?
Yeah. I think that's how we're going to play it.
Rothman and Ice. Weekdays at noon.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus.
The Fan. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Bundle up. It will be chilly this morning with wake-up temperatures below freezing, but this afternoon, plenty of sunshine and daytime highs topping out in the low 50s. For tonight, mostly cloudy overnight with our lows in the 30s, and for Wednesday, a mix of sun and clouds, but even warmer as highs soar into the mid-60s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
Question from a listener: do you dopes ever get tired of talking about Ohio State? No. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan. Tyvis has a bum wrist from playing football. Bone has a bum wrist from opening the heavy doors at Sheets. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
Sometimes you just got to admit when you're like a hater and you know that you're in the minority on something. And that is me when it comes to the NCAA tournament, because there's some stats out and ticket prices that just show me how much I am a hater and how much everybody else enjoys the NCAA tournament. It's T-Bone and Tyvis this morning. Matt Fontaine in for T-Bone. Dylan's here. Tyvis is here. And always catch the podcast wherever you get your podcast. We're streaming, of course, on YouTube as well. You can go to the record audio section on the Fan app, tap the microphone, and send us your hot take. Don't forget the T-Bone and Tyvis podcast brought to you by Capital Ford of Columbus. Speaking of hot takes, Dylan, you already have one from the YouTube side of things.
Yes, Mario says, Hot Take Tuesday, Muffet McGraw looks like she could be fun. But she's 70 years old. Let her live, Mario. Leave her alone.
She looked like she could be fun. He is hilarious.
That's an unhinged take.
Wow. Listen, I don't know exactly what I...
What does he mean by fun?
You know what he means. You know exactly what he means. And I don't know if I'm allowed to say the first word of this, but I don't want to shame. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? You know the first word that I want to put there? It starts with a K? Yes, okay. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. Listen, guys. Listen, man. I just fill in. I've known Fish a long time. He asked me to do this. I don't want to get fired. I like doing this show with you guys. I like doing this. It's a lot of fun. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that first K word there, but I don't want to shame on this show. If that's your thing, man, go. She is well above the age of consent. You can do whatever you want. Hey, man.
Listen, Bill Belichick doing it.
Hey, in the revert. Did you see that tweet yesterday?
If Bill can do it, you can do it.
Sorry, I think it was Tom. Somebody sent it. I don't want to put this on Pelissaro. Somebody sent a tweet out that said SMU wide receiver Jordan Davis was visiting with the Cowboys and put in the tweet, he is in no relation to the Jordan, or whatever her name is, Jordan Hudson. In no relation to the Jordan Hudson that is dating Bill Belichick. And somebody tweets back and goes, why would you need to put that in?
Yeah, I don't understand.
Why on this earth would you need to put in there? Unless we could just cut it right through too. He was African American, she's white. Why would you need to put in there? Like when they have the same name and they go, and I'm not kidding, this insider had to go in there, in no relation to Bill Belichick's girlfriend. Why would you need to put that in the
That's
tweet?
sad.
From this kid who's working out for the Cowboys? Like, somebody goes, thank God, I was worried. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? But I did pull up a picture of Muffet McGraw. Each their own, man.
So leave it at that.
To each their own. Guys, I got to admit, when I hate on the NCAA tournament. And we'll get to hot takes later. I guess I could drop it here. I think the NCAA tournament is widely overrated. And here's the thing. Ticket prices for the East region for the Sweet 16 to get in, to sit in the nosebleed section there in D.C., $482. It's only going to get more, and it's perfect. You're in D.C., you got Duke, St. John's, UConn, and Michigan State. I mean, that's perfect, right? The ratings were through the roof, averaging nearly 10 million viewers per window in the first round for CBS and TNT. That is a new record. Tyvis, I get it when I hate on the tournament. Ticket prices are insane. TV ratings are insane. And I know people are going to yell at me, oh, Matt, look at this great game where you had the back-to-back threes and all these shots. College basketball has been ruined for me a long time.
Dang.
Here's my question.
Why is it ruined for you?
The one-and-dones. I don't follow it. Like, I follow Ohio State, so I know who they are. And I appreciate guys like Bruce Thornton who stick around for years. But the just getting there because you got to go before you go to the NBA. Okay,
here we
there's
go.
Just some bad basketball, man. There is just some blank, poor, missing layups, jacking up threes. And I get that it's in the opening two rounds, and you have some teams that frankly shouldn't have made it, or teams that are just in a complete deficit with the team that they're playing. And the basketball will pick up as you get better teams throughout the tournament. You know, the pageantry of it also has worn off for me. Right? And it's not that I'm an anti-Duke fan or watching UNC getting ready to fire Hubert Davis or whatever they're doing. And you want to know what? You want to boil it down to this. I really think I can cut straight to it on this. It's because Ohio State has not been successful or, frankly, in the tournament all that much over the last couple of years. I guarantee you that that's a big part of why I sit here and am hating on the NCAA tournament, because Tyvis, they're having record sales, they're having record TV viewing. I know I'm a hater, I know I'm in the minority, I accept that, and I bring it on. All right.
I'm glad that we got to the root of all of this because the tournament has been fine. Like it's not been bad at all. I think that when you think about some of these teams that are the quote unquote Cinderella stories, you know, when we're rooting for that, they have to do some of the things that you mentioned. They have to be able to shoot threes at a high clip to be able to win games like that. Miami of Ohio, when they beat, SMU, like they shot the lights out of the three. That's why they ended up winning the game to get into the tournament. So to me, I think like when you're going up against an inferior opponent, that the three is the almighty equalizer, and everybody knows that. And that's why you see like in the NBA, that's why a lot of people – like, I don't know if you could be successful in NBA if you can't shoot threes. Like, that's the thing.
That's a new
thing. So all you're doing is seeing that trickle down to the college and high school sport is that everybody has to be able to shoot threes. And, you know, again, when you're a 16 seed, the best way to upset a 1, or if you're a 15 trying to upset a 2, the best way to do that is to shoot threes. So that's what you got to do. So to me, it's been bad. It's basketball. Like, this is just a new day and age of basketball. We don't really see those days where you kick it down to the post and, you know, do a great Hakeem Olajuwon move or something like that. Like, you don't really see that. on the women's side, I think you see more, plays like Notre Dame was backdoor cutting us to death yesterday. And I was like, man. So, it was nice seeing that. But, in today's day and age, basketball is essentially who can shoot the three ball better.
All right, let me ask everybody out there this. Do you want your bracket busted or not? Because the other argument I get in with people, because we all do a bracket for, the work challenge, and then Pam in accounting had her daughter fill it out thanks to her favorite colors and mascots, and she ends up winning. You sit there and you do all this research, and you do this and this matchup and this team's RPI and all this, and you fill it out, and she had her 3-year-old daughter fill it out, and she's going to win the whole pot, down there. So that's how the brackets go. But I always ask people, Tyvis, do you want upsets? And you could say, well, I picked that upset in my bracket. Okay, fine. We are entering the Sweet 16. There is not a perfect bracket on this earth again. It never makes it. Oh, I guess there was a couple years ago it got close, but you never get close on actually filling out a perfect bracket. So I sit here and I say, I'm like, what do you want? Do you want your bracket to be good so you can win your pot, or do you want the upsets that everybody loves and talks about with the NCAA tournament?
I like the upsets early on.
Okay, that's fine, yeah.
I like the upsets early on. I think that obviously the biggest thing is that everybody wants some Cinderella team to, make it all the way towards the Final Four to the national championship. That's everybody's dream end goal.
Who's everybody?
I feel like a lot of people want that.
No.
I think a lot of people want that. Like Loyola Chicago, when they was doing, I think people started to root for them to keep going.
Yeah, my ideal, you get 4 upsets opening round. You get 2 Cinderellas in the Sweet 16. Maybe one of them to the Elite 8. After that, get them out of here. I want the best 4 teams. I want powerhouse schools in the Final Four to actually decide who's the best team in college basketball.
If they made the Final Four and won and went to the national championship and lost by 2 points, that's a success. If Akron or Miami of Ohio went all the way to the national championship game this year and lost to the Wolverines by 2 points, that you would have went into that game rooting for Miami.
There would definitely be more eyeballs on Duke, Michigan.
That's a bigger fan. You talk about 2 blue blood basketball
That's
schools.
right. That's what I'm saying that I want in the end. They can win in the beginning, but in the end, get them out.
But I feel like we see that though.
Yeah, I mean obviously metrics, but so what your point is, Tyvis? You're right. Michigan, it's going to be a disappointing season if they're not at the Final Four. Miami had a successful season because they made it. That's it, and then won a game. So it's always that sliding scale. So what is actually best? It's hard because we're in Ohio. I would sit down and root for Miami. Some other region might not. And then when you talk about the NCAA, I've been to 1 Final Four in my life. We got an opportunity. This was years ago. I used to work here in Cleveland for ESPN Cleveland, and Tony Rizzo. Riz is, one of the biggest radio hosts in town. I worked with Riz for many years. He and I took a trip to Indianapolis, and it was Kentucky and Michigan State, and I can't even remember exactly what year it was. It was 15 or 14 or something like that. But being in Indianapolis to see it really gave me a true perspective of having 4 different teams there. And the NCAA, they want the 4, to your point, Tyvis, they want Duke because Duke is going to travel. They want Michigan because Michigan is going to travel. They just come into a city. They want the most amount of people that they can there. And that's where I think Dylan is right. You want your upsets up until the Elite 8. That is where it cuts off. And that's where you want the best of the best being there and fighting for the national championship. So I just think it's also great for the sport, obviously, that they've got this money up, that they've got the TV ratings up. I don't know how you guys feel on this, just quick before we get a break, how the opening round is starting to become a thing. And I know it's always been, but what I'm saying is people going to the bar at noon, people calling off work. It really has taken on a life of its own more and more, I think, over the last couple of years. So that's great for the sport, obviously. You know what else is great? For the pockets of one Jackson Smith-Njigba. He signs a new contract last night, becomes the highest paid wide receiver in NFL history. What a feather in the cap for the Buckeyes, right? We'll talk about all of it 2 minutes away right here on The Fan.
Fan Traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Noticing some lane closures happening right now over on the east side. It's on that 270 southbound ramp to 70 eastbound. It's in that 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. time frame out there, so just half a day for that project, but it will be lasting until Thursday, so keep that in mind. Also, another reminder in our southeast corner, lane restrictions 270 northbound at 33. You were down to 2 lanes out there. That project will be lasting about 30 days. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Colin Man here for Jermaine. Everybody's talking about affordability when buying a car these days, but the truth is, GoJermaine.com has a great selection of affordable inventory. Maybe that tax return's going to hit your mailbox pretty soon. Well, go see my friends because they have 300 new cars under 30 grand, over 300 used cars under 20 grand, and it's only at GoJermaine.com. And along with their $1,000 price promise, no one's going to sell you a car for less. Get started at GoJermaine.com.
Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
The water's standing in the tub. My toilets will not flush. The smell's getting bad in here. I need help in a rush.
Clogged drain, no problem. It's 93 or free. I'll clear any drain or you don't pay with a 1-year guarantee.
It's 93 or free. Guaranteed.
Call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
Turn your tax refund into a new landscape with Menards. Make this the year you check that project off the list. Create stunning patios and build strong retaining walls with our huge in-stock selection of beautiful concrete blocks ready to take home today. Plus, easily build and design your own raised garden beds with our garden block. On sale now. Check out our weekly flyer and start saving on landscape blocks. Now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
We're your radio home for the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. We may have a bit of a football problem. Oh, yeah. The Fan, Ohio sports destination. T-Bone would like to take a second to remind everyone that Eddie George is awesome and that Ronnie James Dio was an American treasure. And that pickles are gross. Thank you. Here's T-Bone and Tyvis.
I do like Ronnie James Dio. Rainbow in the Dark is a jam. Great band there with Dio, of course. Welcome back. Matt Fontana in for T-Bone. He is Tyvis pal. Dylan Gonzalez with us as well. Last night, what a bag for our guy, Jackson Smith-Njigba. He signs a new contract to become the highest paid wide receiver in NFL history. 4 years, $168.6 million. He sets the new record as well for average per year, which is what I was looking up. So it was Jamar Chase at 40. Jackson Smith-Njigba is now at 42, which overtakes Justin Jefferson as well at 35, 34. You know, and Tyvis, here's a good tweet from Andrew Siciliano. Let's go back each of the last 2 years. Justin Jefferson signs a 4-year, $140 million deal in 2024. Last year, Jamar Chase goes 4 for $161, and now Jackson Smith-Njigba 4 for $168. So just in the span of 2 years, that's $28 million added in total value to a wide receiver being number one. I mean, the NFL, as we know, is a booming business. The salary cap jumping $30 million every year tells you everywhere you need to know. But good for JSN, man. I do think this is a huge compliment to Ohio State, because there's another one that I saw yesterday, and obviously we've all known this, but your son is good at playing receiver. Send him to Ohio State. How about this for some Ohio State wide receivers? Get in the bag. 168 for JSN. Garrett Wilson signed a $130 million deal. Terry McLaurin signed a $97 million deal. Jameson signed an $80 million deal. I know he finished at Alabama, but let's give it what it is. Marv is on a rookie deal, but 35. Chris Olave is a first-round pick, and so was Emeka Ibuka, and those guys are expected to get paid too. So you're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars being handed out to Ohio State wide receivers. I know they have to do a lot when they get to the NFL, but Tyvis, I think it's undeniable about the base they built for themselves coming through the Buckeye program.
No, they've done an unbelievable job trying to get that wide receiver U thing, and it's really trending in that direction. I know that the LSU is still putting up a great fight, with some of the great receivers that they got in the NFL, but man, JSCN has done an amazing job of pulling it closer. And I believe he had given LSU wide receiver U for that moment before the season. I wonder if you ask him now, what would he say about it now?
I'm pretty sure there was a clip from him after the regular season with him saying that it's Ohio State now, mainly because of his performance this past season. But it's funny with the Seahawks. I would argue they saved money by doing this. They had just picked up his fifth-year option. Puka is about to get paid, Puka Nacua.
Yeah.
Doing the contract before Puka Nacua does his, I think the Seahawks actually saved money by giving Jackson Smith and Jigba all this money now because they really didn't have to do this until next offseason.
Send this clip to Cincinnati and the Browns because somehow, some way, they never get this through their head. You save money anytime you pay them early. When you are first, you always save money, Dylan. You're 100% correct. And that's where I know they got the deal done with Burrow. They eventually got the deal done with T. Higgins. You are I would say always, because they could go belly up and the player either gets hurt or they don't play it to the level that you thought they were going to. But just the way it's an arms race. It is literally an arms race for some of these players. And Tyvis, I'm sure you could speak on to maybe some of your former teammates. There's an ego thing here about comparing themselves to their peers, not just on their team, but within their position group, to say, yeah, I'm top 5 paid, or I am number 1. Like, there is in no world that Puka Nacua is going to sit down and, negotiate with the Rams and not say, I had better be number 1 on this list because I deserve it. You're always better off paying your guys earlier.
Yeah, I think if you're one of those guys that are expect to be paid, you never want to be first to sign. You never do. Like, Puka was sitting there yesterday like, yes.
Yep, thank you.
Yes. We going to start the negotiation with $1 million more than that at least. And obviously he's going to come out and probably get more money, but yeah, if you're signing, I remember the off season of, what was it, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, and it was somebody else. Was it Tua?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember, I think Justin signed first. And I was like, oh, yeah, I know Joe is like, yes.
Yes. You're right.
So they ended up getting more. But, yeah, you never want to be the first one to sign.
Well, and wide receiver has also become an interesting position to me because it is a premier position. I really subscribe to the theory you need to draft premier positions, right? Like quarterback, pass rusher, I think corner, I think wide receiver. Like, yeah, you want to draft linemen, but sometimes you can find them. You want to have linebackers, but sometimes you can find them. But here's my point. The receiver position is one of the highest paid in the NFL. It's a premier position. But, guys, are we not littered and maybe lucky to look around the league and go, man, there's like 12 guys on any given year that I think could be elite. I don't know if I could say that about any other position, including quarterback, where there are just so many good receivers that are coming out of college. You're going to get another one next year when Jeremiah Smith enters the league. And I get, like, to this example about, like, Marvin Harrison Jr., who I still think has a chance, and every piece that is needed to be a top wide receiver in the NFL. He just needs to get some more consistent quarterback play and all that. But I don't know, Tyvis, like, I look at receiver and say, yeah, they deserve to be paid, but there's also a lot of them out there that are readily available. I mean, on a year-to-year basis, DK Metcalf, I think is top 8 in the NFL per year pay, and he got traded. He got moved. George Pickens, I know he's not going to surpass JSN, but he's about to get a bag, too, down in Dallas.
He going to try. He's going to try. I mean, Jerry might pay it. Jerry.
I don't think he has a choice. I really don't think he has a choice. I think he has to.
Did he finish All-Pro this year? Second team or first team All-Pro?
That sounds right.
I feel like he was mad about something. I remember he was mad about something, but I don't remember if it was All-Pro or Pro Bowl.
He was a second-team All-Pro. He made a Pro Bowl, and he was second-team All-Pro.
Okay, then I think he was mad that he wasn't first team.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he got mad because he got the franchise tag, too. And I think the whole spirit of the franchise tag is supposed to be so they can extend the window for them to try to sign him. I actually do think Dallas is going to get a deal done for him. I do.
I mean, why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you? And Jerry's made some stupid mistakes on offense, paying certain players, and I say that Zeke got paid. I'm happy about that. But and at the time, nobody batted an eye at that. It was freaking Ezekiel Elliott. Look how good he was, and it just didn't turn out. But I don't think he has a choice. I think he's going to have to pay Pickens down there and just even a try. You don't make that move and have the season that he did, where he had almost 1,500 receiving yards and 9 touchdowns, and let him walk.
Yeah,
I know he's franchise tagged, but I think you got to get that deal done. And especially too, when you talk about the fact that the salary cap keeps going up, it is easier to pay these guys because you know there's just going to be even more room, as the years go on. All right, we got the morning wood. We got to run through some things, including jury duty. I've got a story about jury duty. We got it all coming up. It's T-Bone and Tyvis right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Noticing some slight delays now after a crash on the north side of Columbus, just south of Westerville, 270 eastbound, just passing Cleveland Avenue, where that right shoulder is still blocked. For our friends on the east side, lane closures happening right now, 270, that southbound ramp to 70 eastbound with some repairs going on. It will be lasting until Thursday and more of that half-a-day hours, 6 a.m. to 12 this afternoon. And another reminder, lane restrictions in our southeast corner, 270 northbound at 33, down to 2 lanes out there. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your Fan Traffic.
The new Omaha Steak Store is now open at 1033 Polaris Parkway at Polaris Commons. Stop in today and save 50% store-wide on legendary steaks, burgers, and more. Plus, get doorbuster deals starting at just $19.99. Discover the Omaha Steaks difference today at the new store at Polaris Commons in Columbus.
Hey, folks, it's Austin Ward here.
And it's Berm from the Austin Berm Show.
Berm and I have both done Awaken 180, which honestly should tell people something right there.
Right. It tells you that if it can work for you and me, it can work for anybody.
Because neither one of us has exactly been out here living or were living like a fitness influencer.
No, not unless you count fitness fast food tacos in my mouth.
You treated fast food like it was a love language.
I loved it, and I still do.
And look, that's fair, but that's also why Awaken 180 works for people listening right now. You don't have to be perfect. You don't even have to know what you're doing.
No, what you need is a plan. You need someone to help bring you along, and Awaken 180 does that. They tell you what to eat, when to eat, how to eat, and how to make it fit your life.
I lost 50 pounds with Awaken 180, then another 5 in free maintenance.
For me, it was 35. I'm in maintenance, and I'm under 200 pounds for the first time in 25 years.
This isn't just for some tiny group of people who already have it all figured out.
Nope, it works for real people with busy lives who are on the go just like us.
If you're just tired of carrying that weight around, do what we did. It sounds like a lot of people out there can do exactly what Awaken 180 did for us.
Yeah, go to awaken180weightloss.com now.
Forget the pot of gold. Save some green at all 4 Coghlan Kia locations. Get 0% plus no payments for 90 days on select new Kia Sorentos, Sportages, and Tellurides. Or buy a new 2026 Kia K4 for $279 a month. Visit CoglanKia.com.
Coghlan has the car for you.
0% APR available for 48 months on select in-stock units. 90-day deferred payments. 5 for $279 per month for 84 months at 5.99% APR with approved credit through Kia Finance. See dealer for details. Ends 3/31/26.
It's Common Man and Timmy for our friends at Hollywood Casino.
Oh, it's a big month, Common Man.
Why?
Because there's lots of basketball to watch and lots of cash to win.
That's right. If you're watching hoops, you can reserve your spot at HollywoodColumbus.com. And some of the packages come with $300 in dining credits.
And this month you could win $1 million instantly. Is that your final answer? Plus, there's multiple ways to score big cash prizes weekly.
Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Hey, basketball.
BMI Federal Credit Union is celebrating their 90th anniversary. As a thank you, they will be celebrating with monthly sweepstakes where 90 winners will win big. Visit bmifcu.org/90 years for more details.
Our double hung is as good as it gets. There's something really simple. It's called an interlock. We interlock our windows. The interlock is the absolute best way to alleviate air infiltration. With the interlock, it's harder to break into. When you interlock the sashes, it makes a better window. It's just a darn good window, and we're very proud of it.
Visit Rosati Windows and get 35% off all windows and doors by March 31st.
Remember your first football game? The sound of the crowd, the smell of the grill, the moment you fell in love with the game. This spring break, pass that moment on. At the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, families walk through the greatest moments in football history and create new memories of their own. See the legends, experience the history, share the game you love. Make the Hall of Fame part of your spring break road trip. Plan your visit today at ProFootballHOF.com. Truck drivers. Midwest Logistics Systems is hiring local dedicated truck drivers in your area. As an MLS driver, you'll experience the ease of hauling no-touch freight, earning predictable pay, and having a consistent Monday through Friday schedule. Plus, MLS drivers earn performance and safety-based bonuses and have access to a benefits package with health care, a 401k, paid time off, and more. Stop missing out on valuable time at home. Find a local dedicated job near you and apply at MidwestLogisticsSystems.com.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Care Heating and Cooling.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
We at The Fan have created a show where you can be a homer, a hater, or whatever you want to be. Sunday mornings at 8.
It's the Fan Call-In Show, presented by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
The Fan Poll is sponsored by JT's Pizza and Pub, home of award-winning pizza and 32-ounce Yuengling drafts for only $4. Tyvis played in some of the biggest stadiums in the world. T-Bone has eaten some of the biggest pizzas in the world. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
We get to the Morning Wood here in a minute. Matt Fontana in for Bone this morning. Dylan's got that. Tyvis as well. Find the podcast wherever you get your podcasts for T-Bone and Tyvis. Streaming, of course, on the YouTube chat where we will take your hot takes. You can also record your hot take and send it to us on the Fan app. Go to the record audio section, tap the microphone, and send it on in. T-Bone and Tyvis podcast brought to you by Capital Ford of Columbus. You know how we do it. Morning Wood, including some jury duty, Dylan?
Oh, that's where I play the intro.
Yeah, that's I didn't. I was like, I'm pretty sure there was an intro. I couldn't remember.
All right, here we go.
It's good to know where you stand on the important issues. Oh, my. This is Morning Wood.
It's like Ron Burgundy. Where I'm like, I'm Ron Burgundy. Morning Wood. We got it. Dylan, take it away.
That's my bad.
You're good, bro.
All right. So, have you ever been selected for jury duty? If not, would you be one of those people who are excited to do it?
I've gotten selected twice, Tyvis. Each time I've hated it. I don't want to go. I'd rather be at work. So the first time I got called, I was like, I think I was 22 years old. Right. So I'd never done it before. And it was when I was still living in Medina County. So I did Medina County, which is much smaller. I had to do it in Cleveland, Cuyahoga County once. Bro, hundreds of people on this floor, whatever. So when I had to do it back in Medina County, so we're sitting there all day, right? And they just call you when it's time to go. And I'm sitting there and I'm nervous and I don't want to do this. And I'm thinking, maybe I'll like skate out of here and I'll be good. Nope. Juror number 1, Matt Fontana, come on down. I'm like, great. So I'm sitting there. I'm just sweating bullets, and the judge comes in, and he goes, good news. We had, 8 cases on the docket today. They've either all been moved or they pled out or a deal has been cut. Like, you guys are basically good to go. I'm like, great. So I, start picking my stuff up to get up. Oh, no. No. The old ladies, juror 7 down there, well, can you tell us about the cases anyway? I sat there for 45 more minutes because the judge had nothing to do either. And he's sitting there explaining every case. I'm like, can I go home? Like, I'm not trying to live out an Unsolved Mysteries TV show in real life. Like, these old ladies over here, they just wanted gossip for the next week with their friends while the rest of us are sitting there trying to get the hell out of here so we can go home. No, 45 minutes, guys, sat there while they heard every detail of, and I also wanted to look at the judge. I'm like, are you supposed to be doing this? Like, some of these are active cases. Done it twice, hate it, don't call me again, I don't want to go.
I have not done jury duty, but
now you know what you signed up
a little birdie told me this is the only time that I will ever say that I am a media member, because they say if you work in the media, you will be out of there before the coffee gets cold.
Yep.
You walk right up in there and say, I work in the media, they will say, okay, you are dismissed.
Yep, because they don't want you, if you get on some high-profile case, you can't be talking about it. You can't be, or a notable person, you can't do it.
I'm with you, Matt, that people that want to do this are either into unsolved mysteries, or they're just nosy and want to gossip. You got to be that type of people to want to do jury duty.
they think that they're going to be like on the OJ trial, and you're like, you're not. This guy got pulled over for speeding, and he's fighting it, right? He got a ticket, from a camera, and he's fighting it. Like, it's not fun. It's not exciting to.
They give you an open and closed case.
Right. Well, the other thing, so here's how you get out of it, too, for all the people out there that are non-media members that want to get out of it, you just tell them that you don't care. Because the thing is, you're not going to listen to every detail, and lawyers hate that. Because they're fighting this and they're putting this case up. You just say, I'm not going to listen.
I tell people to say that they're racist. Don't be racist.
Wow.
Just say that
I don't know about this one, Dylan. I don't know about that one.
Dylan, I'm just doing it for jury duty. I swear, it's just for jury duty. I don't know if you want that.
I don't know about that one.
By the way, that question was inspired by my girlfriend, who today I was driving her car yesterday, and Tyvis, I accidentally left her keys in my jacket. Left her stranded at her own house with no key to her car. Have you guys ever done something so stupid and inconvenient to your significant other?
I've taken my wife's car keys, but to the gym or something, nothing crazy. You guys don't have a spare key?
She said she don't have one.
Oh, you got to get one. Got to have one.
So she's stranded right now?
Someone's going to take her to work, but I still feel bad.
You got to pay for an Uber.
That's what I said. I mean, that is the other thing about our job.
You didn't realize, you didn't run up. When did you realize that you had her keys?
About 5:55 this morning. You ever accidentally don't give Carnell his keys back?
No, that wouldn't be an accident. That would be intentional.
I'm at this point. I would just assume you would have a set of Carnell's keys.
I tell you what, it has been a time where I have literally went to his house, dropped his car off, because some of the times when I drop it off, he's not there. So I just know where to put everything. And there's times that I've dropped the car off and forgot to leave the key.
Yeah.
I shut the door because it's door locked when you shut it. And then I'll go to my car and hit my pocket like, shoot. I forgot to put his key in there. I've done that multiple times.
There you go. All right, next up, Dylan.
Would you feel some type of way if your franchise quarterback was involved in this flag football stuff? I know you guys are Browns fans, so you don't know how that feels. But if you did,
wrist up.
How would you feel? Okay, Tyvis, how would you feel if Shador was playing this flag football stuff?
He did it.
Did he?
He did it in the Pro Bowl. Wrist up.
I guess that counts.
Wrist
I'm talking
up.
about the Saudi Arabia Olympic.
Your quarterback's not going to get hurt in no flag football game. He's fine. He's fine.
I mean,
they're not. These guys get tackled for a living. You telling me there's no tackling going on? He's fine.
There was one catch, I think, whoever it was, and they were kind of on the back end line, and I'm like, that could have been kind of dangerous. I know Odell's out there all excited to try to get back in the NFL because of it, whatever. I probably would say no. Yeah, to your point, question to your question, Dylan. In your point, I think it's. I don't want him taking any unnecessary risks, and let Tom Brady do it. Let some of the other guys do it. I'm shocked the NFL is I guess you really can't stop them, but I'm shocked the NFL is allowing some of their current players to go out there and play in this because I wouldn't want them doing it. No.
I think it's fun.
I just
listen. Y'all too scary. People too scary. Y'all too scary for this. These are high-profile athletes. What do you think they go? People go out there. You know what they do in the all season? They go play pickup basketball, and nobody says a thing.
Sure,
that might be even more dangerous than a flag football game.
You might be right. You might be right. Here's the other issue that I have with it. And I'm just going to say this as a blanket statement. The other idiots out there that they're playing with, because Jake Paul's out there. You don't think he wants a clip for his social media? Trying to tackle
Jake
Dak
Paul
Prescott?
Also has a WWE contract. He ain't trying to get hurt either.
Okay, so there's there's streamers. There's streamers. There's guys that really do not have any skin in this
You
game.
think that a streamer wants to be canceled for being the guy that hurt Tom Brady? No,
dude.
It's one of those things. It's literally as like you playing pickup basketball with athletes in the offseason. You're not. Nobody's going that hard. You're not.
You got a good point. You have a great point in the pickup basketball. You're not wrong because they all do it. But this, I don't know, man. I don't like it. If I was an owner, I'd politely try to tell my players.
Nobody's going that hard. Trust me. They're not going that hard.
I hope not. You want to sneak one more in, Dylan?
Yeah, real quick before we go to break. If you had to be freezing cold or uncomfortably hot for the rest of your life,
uncomfortably hot,
which one would you choose?
Uncomfortably hot.
No. I wanted to get this in because there's such a debate on this, and we might have to roll this over. Tyvis, there's only one thing that a human body can do to itself when it comes to cold and hot, and that is warm itself up. You cannot cool yourself
hot.
down. No, you would rather be freezing
every
cold.
day, twice on Sunday.
No.
Uncomfortably hot.
Now, I run hot. That's why I'd always rather be cold, because I run. So then why would you not rather be cold?
Uncomfortably hot. Because that cold.
We got to bring this back.
No.
We're going to have to bring this back later. Speaking of hot, it was hot on Jarvis Landry's podcast because he ripped into Kevin Stefanski about his time with Cleveland. We get all of it coming up. T-Bone and Tyvis right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Starting tonight, the 315 northbound and southbound ramps will be closed with bridge demolition work expected to start 10 p.m. tonight, lasting through 5 the next morning. And this project will be lasting a couple days until Friday. As for one of the detours, that's southbound direction on 315. If you can, go early and get off 315. That will take you to 670 eastbound, 71 southbound through downtown, then 70 westbound, going back eventually southbound on 71, closer towards Green Lawn Avenue. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. If you've ever had somebody do work at your house, it's annoying as crap, at least to me, when someone shows up to your house that you never met, you've never worked with, and you didn't hire to do the job. Subcontractors, I understand why they exist, but for me, I want to work with a company that's going to bring people who know what they're doing, who are trained by the company to put their product in. On time, on budget, no surprises at the end. That's what Baths R Us does every single time. These folks started in Ohio and grew by word of mouth because they do it right the first time. And the big difference with them, they have local crews. They never sub out the work. The people who show up to your door, they're trained by Baths R Us. They're actually employees of the company, not some random crew they hired last week. Whether you need a safer bathroom to stay independent or you just want a space that you're proud of, they build it to last. That's Baths R Us. Call them today and see what it's like to work with people who actually keep their promises. Kind of a rare thing these days. Call them today, 380-225-BATH. That's 380-225-BATH. Baths R Us. Bathrooms you can trust. Call now.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
Wilson, we put new windows in a Dublin home last week. You wouldn't believe how much new light was let in. Changed the entire mood of the home.
You don't need fancy windows to change the mood of a room, Leslie. Know what else will do that? Wilson's Wicks, my new candle line. Here, smell this one.
Oh, that's bad.
I call it warm tuna salad. It's not for everyone.
Get the windows that can completely change the look and feel of your home at PellaColumbus.com.
Common Man here for Jermaine. Everybody's talking about affordability when buying a car these days, but the truth is, GoJermaine.com has a great selection of affordable inventory. Maybe that tax return's going to hit your mailbox pretty soon. Well, go see my friends because they have 300 new cars under 30 grand, over 300 used cars under 20 grand, and it's only at GoJermaine.com. And along with their $1,000 price promise, no one's going to sell you a car for less. Get started at GoJermaine.com.
He's a husband, a dad, owner of a gym. He's also a police officer. Staying strong and pain-free isn't optional. It's safety. That's why David Boardman's a QC Kinetics patient.
My job is dependent on my physical ability and my physical fitness so that I can protect myself, so that I can go home safe to my family at the end of the night.
But severe knee pain nearly took that away. Doctors said surgery, shut down the workouts. David needed another option. That was QC Kinetics. They told him,
we're going to give you the opportunity to have not one, but 2 healthy knees, and we don't have to cut you open.
They used David's own healing tools in his blood to help restore his knees. Regenerative treatments right in the office.
Since I've gone to them, I run 20, 30 miles a week.
Trust the team helping active people avoid surgery. Call QC Kinetics today for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Pepsi Prebiotic Cola in original and cherry vanilla. That Pepsi taste you love with no artificial sweeteners, only 30 calories, just 5 grams of sugar, and 3 grams of prebiotic fiber. that great Pepsi taste with even more to love. Pepsi Prebiotic Cola. Unbelievably Pepsi.
Hi, I'm Chef Franklin Becker. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
Could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right. So we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Columbus has a new football team, the Aviators. UFL football lands April 3rd. Be there for our home opener at historic Crew Stadium. Don't miss it. Get your tickets now at uflaviators.com. That's uflaviators.com. United, we fly.
With all that can go wrong at your home, it's enough to make you want to say, oh, brother. With Brothers Roofing and Construction, one call covers it all. Roofing, siding, rotting decks, we cover it all. So visit us online at brothersroofingconstruction.com.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios, driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good morning, I'm Dylan Gonzalez. The Ohio State women's basketball team lost to Notre Dame 83-73 at the Shot in what was the second round of the NCAA tournament. This is now the third year in a row the Buckeyes have suffered a home loss in the round of 32. The Columbus Blue Jackets will try to get back in the win column when they visit the Philadelphia Flyers tonight. Coverage starts at 6:30 right here on The Fan. Former Ohio State Buckeye wide receiver Jackson Smith-Njigba got a bag yesterday. JSN signed a 4-year, $168 million deal, making him the highest paid receiver in NFL history. And speaking of former Buckeyes, Marvin Harrison Jr.'s brother Jet Harrison was ranked the #1 recruit by Rivals yesterday for the 2028 class, and he will visit Ohio State this weekend. This update is sponsored by Uber Eats. Uber Eats has a great deal waiting for you at Scramblers. From now through March 31st, get a buy one, get one free deal on the Manhandler skillet on the app. Terms apply.
Two men who both know the value of a good hat.
You're bald!
This is Bone and Tyvis.
So I was nervous because I am wearing a hat on the show this morning. I'm not bald. I'm Matt Fontana. He is Tyvis Powell, also not bald. But I was going to wear a hat because today's my son's picture day at school. So I left, like, my hair gel and, like, my comb upstairs. And I'm like, you know, so that way my wife can do his nice hair to go to school. I just walked upstairs, and I'm like, he goes, I'm not doing that. Buddy, it's school. It's picture day.
He ain't putting no gel and he ain't doing his hair?
He doesn't like it. I don't know why. There's something about it. Because, like, we normally, I'm like, go to school. Like, what do I care? You know what I mean? Like, you know, just go. But today's, like, it's a different thing for him because it's picture day, you know? So I wore a hat, like, because my hair would be everywhere for the YouTube side of things. Does it look all right? I was nervous that it'd be like casting a shadow on my face all day. Is it all right? Do you care? You don't really? It's fine.
I didn't notice. I think it looks fine.
It's fine. It's all good.
It casts a shadow, but it's fine.
It's fine. We're all good here. Well, speaking of video, Jarvis Landry on video with his podcast. You know, before we get to the comments, I'm sure everybody heard him talk about Kevin Stefanski. Like, Tyvis, we do live in a world now where media is readily available. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I really don't. I want the competition. I think people can find what you know, it scratches their itch or whatever you want to call it. There's so many different things in sports and in politics and entertainment. You know, anybody can start a podcast, which is great. And I think there's a lot of former players that get into it. And there are some that I think are really good. I think there's some that really kind of struggle. But it is an interesting world that we live in with the amount of media that is available to people. And Jarvis Landry and Leonard Fournette, who both played at LSU, here's their tie, they start a podcast, and they come out of the gate, which I kind of understand what they're doing. This was like the third episode of their podcast. So, of course, they want to get into the news. What's the easiest way to get into the news? Jarvis Landry's dropping some juicy nuggets and going after his former head coach at Kevin Stefanski. I'm not saying that anything Jarvis said isn't true, but, Tyvis, I kind of see the game plan that they're playing out here.
I mean, yeah, you want to get your clicks and views up for sure. And the best thing is Kevin is a hot topic because Cleveland fans, obviously, they'll eat it up, and Atlanta fans want to know more about it. And the only thing that Atlanta fans know about him is what Cleveland fans say about him and the two-time Coach of the Year. Like, that's the only thing that Kevin's got going, is that he won Coach of the Year 2 times in a row. So, people want to know the ins and outs. And the thing about Kevin is Kevin's an easy target because Kevin doesn't say anything. He's not a guy that really speaks a lot to the media, so you never know what's going on. And it's always like, even in Cleveland, rest his soul, Jim Donovan even stood up and said, like, let us know what's going on inside the building. Like, they never let you know anything. And so now to hear stories come out about what was potentially going on, like, fans is eating that up because this is a side that we didn't get when Kevin was here. We didn't know. So that's why, to me, it was a wonderful idea of them to do this. Don't know if it's true or not. People was trying to line up, some of his comments about, giving up play calling, like with the AVP. Like, what year was that? Was that 2020 or 2021? When could that have happened? Like, that type of thing. So I don't know. I wish he would have spoke a little bit more on it to give more fans more instead of us trying to guess everything else.
Well, that might be episode 4 of the Fourth and South podcast with Jarvis Landry and Leonard Fournette. Let's hear a clip from the guys. This is Jarvis Landry talking about his former head coach on the Fourth and South podcast.
Man, I would say being in Cleveland and playing there, he was cool to be around. It's like you say, it just almost felt like, as much as he knew what he was doing, right, he really maybe didn't, right? And I think that, like, sometimes some of these coaches or most of these coaches get put in a position too soon. Right? True. They have success as a position coach, right? Mm-hmm. And then they get thrown into this head coaching role where, you expect most of these coaches that's younger to be more personable, right? More relatable with their players. Yeah. And in most cases, it just doesn't work out that way, right? And I know, like, my time in Cleveland, especially in the beginning, man, it was great. Like, he ended up winning Coach of the Year. We ended up going to the playoffs. And then for some reason, then after, bro, it just kind of felt like, the spark between the connection between the players and the coaches just kind of started to dim out, right? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if he'd be a great coach in the league, right? But I do think he knows a lot about offense.
So that was a clip from Jarvis Landry on the Fourth and South podcast talking about Kevin Stefanski. And Tyvis, you're right. There was another part where he said he wasn't even calling plays, and when it would go bad, he gave play calling off to Alex Van Pelt. And I don't want to get into the AVP thing because, like, this as well as I do. Nobody thought he should have been fired for being the offensive coordinator.
I mean,
it was apparent. It was such a huge loss. And let's call it for what it is too. Kevin wanted him to stay. That was also, like, readily known amongst people up here in Cleveland was Kevin did not want Alex Van Pelt
that firing came from above.
Correct. And that's just part of the dysfunction with the Browns is when they meddle with things and they tell them what to do. Here's my pushback on Jarvis's comments there, Tyvis. He was talking about a young rookie head coach. What else is going to happen? Like, I'm not saying Kevin got all that much better in 4 years after what Jarvis is talking about there, but what he was talking about, again, was Kevin when he got the job, 37, 38 years old, whatever it was. I'm sure he got better. I would hope he got better as it went on because he was the first-time coach going through things. So I'm not trying to defend Kevin Stefanski. I did that up to the end, and then it just became apparent that they needed a change. They made a change. I guess I'm trying to give, like, a vote of confidence to Atlanta to say I think he did get better as his time went on here. There were mistakes made that I'm sure he learned from, but also there's always 3 sides, right? There's your side, their side, and the truth. I think this is just Jarvis Landry's side. Tyvis, to your point earlier, I don't think we'll ever get Kevin Stefanski's side of things.
I'm sure he'll do a tell-all book after it's all said. It'll be all-time seller for sure. Yeah. No, I think that when you look at just this situation, like the one thing that people have to remember is that Kevin's first year, I agree with the fact that he was a young coach, first-time head coach. Yes, there's going to be a ton of mistakes. Him and AB, because AB was the first-time general manager. So to me, it seemed like they always made a few mistakes, but I always gave them credit because I said they never made the same mistake twice. And I think 2020 is the season that Jarvis is talking about. He's trying to figure out what changed, what was the biggest difference. Well, 2020 was COVID. Nobody was allowed in the building but the football team. This was the only time that it was just players, coaches, that's it. Like that. Right. There's no fans. There's no people coming in and out of the building. None of that. It was literally coaches and players, and it was all just football. No outside noise because everything was on lockdown. All you could do was do football. And the Browns ended up having one of their best seasons and going to the playoffs that year because of that. And then obviously after that, the world opened back up and all of this stuff, and then things started to fall apart again. And I always gave Kevin a lot of credit because I said the one thing I thought he did well was manage chaos. When there was chaotic things going on, he did a great job of getting people to settle down and focus on the game, and you got results because of that. If you want to know what the biggest difference between 2020 and 21 is, the world opened back up in 21. That's pretty much what it is. More distractions were allowed to happen. You know, guys were able to do more things, and maybe they weren't as locked in as they were in 2020 because they didn't have to be.
Can I sprinkle one other thing on top of what you're talking about? Because I agree with you. It also started the Baker Mayfield drama.
Yeah.
Like, what Jarvis is talking about was Kevin being disconnected from the players. That all started in that 21 season. That was Jarvis's last season in Cleveland. And let's also call it for what it is. Jarvis got cut by the Cleveland Browns. I bet he's pissed off. I bet he's pissed off at Kevin and the organization. But, like, that 21 season, coming off the 20 season and the heartbreak of that playoff run and all that stuff, to go into that 21 season, what happened there? Baker Mayfield got pissed off with the organization and the fighting through the shoulder injury and the knot. That's where it all came from, too. I agree with you. I think it is a lot of that COVID, and they kind of banded together to, get through COVID and win that season and all that. But then 21 came around. They started not having the success that they thought about, and the supposed team leader and quarterback started fighting with the organization and the coach. There's your divide. That's what started it, in my opinion. So I get where Jarvis is talking about, but I'm with you, Tyvis. I think there's a lot more to that story as it goes. So maybe Kevin will start a podcast.
You said
0%.
We don't have a response from Kevin, but I actually have it right here.
Please.
We need to play better.
I hate you. I hate you. I hate him. I really do.
We need to podcast better. We need to show prep better. That's what he's going to say to Jarvis.
I hate him.
Kevin, to his fault, man, he cannot ever say anything. Whether that's good or bad for him, I don't know. We all saw it for a long time here in Cleveland. Have fun down there in Atlanta. We're going to have some fun with Jean-Luc Grandpierre. He's going to join us next, including a conversation about the Columbus Blue Jackets fan trip, and we got some tickets to give away. We'll do that a little later in the show. But stick around. We'll talk some Jackets with Jean-Luc Grandpierre next.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Well, good morning to you. Noticing some big delays after a crash on the north side of Columbus. That's on that 270 eastbound direction just as you're passing Cleveland Avenue, where those outer lanes are currently blocked. Looking at our traffic cams, we've got an active situation and multiple police agencies on scene right now. Once again, those outer lanes are still blocked. So instead, take the detour. That would save you a lot of time on this Tuesday morning. 270 eastbound, then to 71 southbound, then really just taking 161 eastbound, passing that area completely, get you back going on 270. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Men, we all know how important sex is in a relationship, both for you and your partner. But erectile dysfunction ruins sex, which can often have serious impacts on your relationship as well. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health. And if ED is a problem in your life, you understand the impacts it has on you and the one you love. But I'm here to tell you that ED is a treatable condition, and almost without exception, you can have really good sex again. At Tri-State Men's Health, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men with protocols that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means if you're like most guys, good sex will be the norm. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a level of intimacy for you and your partner that might just astound you both. It's time to have really good sex again, so call us. Just $99 gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 6 offices in the tri-state area to serve you.
Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
Hi, this is Max with Buckeye Heating and Cooling. Like your vehicle, your heating, cooling, and plumbing systems need to be maintained. We recommend our True Comfort membership designed to keep things working in tip-top shape. Thanks for letting us keep your home comfortable and plumbing worry-free. But when you need us,
call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
Hey Central Ohio, it's Andrew from Home Team Solutions, and yes, we buy houses for cash the easy way. We've been buying houses for over 20 years and we've seen it all. Whether you've inherited a property, you're behind on payments, the house needs work, or just want to avoid the hassle of listing, we've got you covered. No repairs, no clean out, no stress, just a fair cash offer and you pick the closing date. We've helped hundreds of homeowners sell fast and hassle-free, and we're proud to have 5-star reviews all across Central Ohio and an A+ rating with the BBB. If you're ready to sell your house the easy way, call Home Team Solutions at 614-962-SELL. That's 614-962-7355, or visit us online at selltohometeam.com. Home Team Solutions, local, trusted, and family-owned. Again, that's 614-962-SELL. 614-962-7355 or selltohometeam.com.
Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good.
Take your shot to save at Great Lakes Hyundai. Shoot the hoop to get extra savings on your new car purchase. On top of big shot savings like 0% financing on 26 Hyundai Santa Fe's and Tucson's for up to 5 years. Plus, make no payments for 90 days. It's the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Dublin or Columbus or GLakesHyundai.com. With Pro Credit, some customers may not qualify. First to cruise during no payment period. New Hyundais come equipped with owner assurance and America's Best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. Offer ends 3/31.
Hi, the Scott Antique Markets are back again at the Ohio Expo Center, featuring hundreds of vendors with collectibles and merchandise from all over the world. The market is one weekend monthly, November through March. Build your family heirlooms. You can find everything that gets old. Just take I-71 to exit 111 to enjoy America's favorite treasure hunt. Visit thescottantiquemarket.com for more information. Come join us at the Ohio Expo Center for the Scott Antique Markets. It's huge. It's the Scott Antique Markets this weekend.
Springtime is here, and you know what that means. It's time for mulch madness. Did you know that too much mulch is bad for trees and shrubs? 2 inches of mulch is plenty. Any more and you risk causing roots to grow up and around trunks, which increases unhealthy stress, shortens tree life, and even keeps moisture from getting down to tree roots. To find out more about mulch madness or to find a certified arborist near you, visit treesforohio.org. That's trees4ohio.org.
And Ice every Thursday at 2:30 for Gold Jacket Thursday.
Presented by the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
A new Hall of Famer joins the show every week, but not OJ because he's dead and probably a murderer. The Fan. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center. Bundle up, it will be chilly this morning with wake-up temperatures below freezing, but this afternoon, plenty of sunshine and daytime highs topping out into low 50s. For tonight, mostly cloudy overnight with our lows in the 30s, and for Wednesday, a mix of sun and clouds, but even warmer as highs soar into the mid-60s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
No hot takes, no dancing, plenty of stupid. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. T-Bone and Tyvis present Talking Jackets. Talking Jackets.
There's a score! A turnover by the Islanders and Adam Fantilli. One more time. Puts it in the net.
You look inside the world of the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Sponsored by Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING. When you need a company you can trust.
Oh, we got a big one tonight. The Jackets are taking on the Flyers, but going into tonight, we sit just a point behind the Penguins for second place in the Metropolitan. Oh, wait. Pittsburgh plays Colorado tonight. So let's go Avs, let's go Jackets. Matt Fontaine in for T-Bone this morning. Tyvis Powell. And, of course, we bring in the great Jean-Luc Grandpierre. And, Jean-Luc, we have to talk about listen, the Jackets are in the playoff hunt, and we have an amazing opportunity for our fans to go on a trip with the Jackets. They have partnered with Travel Partners Specialty Tours, the same group that brings you the Buckeye Cruise for Cancer. There is a 3-day trip coming up, April 10th through the 12th. So just in a couple of weeks, the Jackets are going to go up to Quebec to take on the Montreal Canadiens. You can get an exclusive, non-stop charter flight from Columbus to Montreal, 2-night accommodations at the Montreal Marriott Chateau Champlain, dinner at the LE9E at the top of the Center Eaton Montreal with all the Jackets broadcasters. So you'll be there. A private tour, a special event, a morning of the game at the Bell Center, tickets to the game. It's the perfect for all ages Jackets fans. Don't miss your chance to be a part of this amazing experience. There's only 10 spots that are remaining. Actually, less than 10 spots are available. You got to go to bluejackets.com/fan trip. That is bluejackets.com/fan trip. So, again, the flight, accommodations, dinner, a special event with the broadcasters, and you get to go to the game. Come on home. Jean-Luc, I think this is so cool because not just are the Jackets like in this playoff hunt, I feel like that's being like a part of the team. You know, it's like traveling with you guys. Like that's a dream that any Jackets fan would have.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, I mean it's pretty cool. And then on top of it, so they just celebrated 30th anniversary of the Bell Center just literally last week. It's a iconic building. And it gets worse. It's not going to be fun for the Blue Jackets simply because it's going to be a Saturday night. But a Saturday night game at the Bell Center, it doesn't get any better than that. It's kind of like a Monday night football in Green Bay or Tech or in Dallas. I mean, it's about like the venue where you want to be for a Saturday night game. So it's going to be a super fun trip. And like you said, I think Jody, and Steve Mears will be there joining the fans for dinner the night before on Friday. And, it should be a lot of fun. And, obviously it's my hometown, so I'm a little partial about that. But, yes, it doesn't get much better than Montreal.
Oh, that night out with Jean-Luc in his hometown. Oh, man, can I go? I want to know, can I go?
BlueJackets.com/fan travel, Tyvis. Yeah.
Listen, by the way, Jean-Luc, I want to let you know that when I met you with my wife, she loves the name Jean-Luc. If it started with a T, my son that will be born in June, name would be Jean-Luc. But because it doesn't start with a T, we can't do it. But that's a whole nother story for another day. When you look at this Jackets team, when you looked at them lose to the Islanders, what was the big takeaway? Because, it really they had good looks. They just didn't go in. What was your big takeaway from that game?
Big takeaway is defense, and discipline, right? Like the game started with a goal in the first minute 25, and you're thinking, oh boy, here we go. We're going to see a lot of goals, and nothing. We went 58 minutes and 35 seconds with absolutely nothing. But it was, I think it was literally two teams that knew the importance of the game and were so clean on their details defensively that I don't want to say people forgot to play offensively, but it's almost like nothing could happen because it was such an important game. And unfortunately for the Blue Jackets, they didn't come away with this one, but it was not a bad game. Now I will say it probably wasn't the most entertaining game to watch because obviously people want to see goal and shots, and there was not too many of those. But for the Blue Jackets, you have to get used to it because a lot of times during the playoff, that's what it looks like, right? Or especially early in a series. So I think it was a good experience for them. Unfortunately, they didn't come on top, but they'll be okay.
Yeah, I mean, Shesterkin in that game, there were some saves, Jean-Luc, and I'm like, I don't know how he got there. And he stopped a Jackets team that had put up 16 goals in their prior 3 games. So I guess my kind of question is, Jean-Luc, as we come down this stretch, do you think it's more important of the offense for the Jackets to keep trying to put these goals up, or do you see this team needing to be focused on the defensive side of things when it comes time to the playoffs?
I think defense is the focus. That is by far like the main focus for Rick Bowness, and because that was a problem when he took over, right? Because the team was just giving too many opportunities, too many scoring chances, and too many goals, and now it's way, way down, which is exactly where you want to be. The offense will come, right? The talent is there. I don't think Rick Bowness goes in the room and says, hey, this is how we need to score goals. His main focus, his number one task when he came was limit the opportunities for the other team to help our goaltenders, and he's definitely succeeded at it. So, I think for the offensive players, they'll have ups and downs and ups and downs. Now, if there's an issue starting to create offensively, maybe you change lines and so some of the forechecking, et cetera. But right now, the main focus is obviously defense.
Talking to Jean-Luc Grandpierre on the Bryan Heating and Cooling System fan guest hotline. Jean-Luc, when you look at the Flyers, right? Obviously, they're not out of the playoffs. Obviously, they need a lot of help, but they've won 5 of 6. The only loss been to the Jackets. Is this a scary time to play them right now?
Scary. They're the hottest team in the Eastern Conference right now, right? Is like the Sabres are 8-1-1, and then the Flyers. I think they've won 7 of their last 10. As well, so it's one of these things. They don't think they're out right now. They're 5 points out as of today, but you look, they still have 2 games in hand. So the Islanders have 85 points with 71 games played. The Flyers only have 69 played. So if they were to win their next 2 games, they're literally a point behind the Islanders. So we talk about how tight things are in the Eastern Conference. That's another great example. For the Flyers right now, they're saying, hey, we got a little bit of runway. If we win the next couple, we're right there, on the cusp of entering, and you never know what can happen. So it's a scary game. For the Blue Jackets, the rest of the calendar is going to be scary simply because of the strength of schedule. But, yes, it's not going to be hey, we just came here to collect our 2 points. Let's get back on the plane and go home. It's the Blue Jackets will have to be ready because last time they were in Philly, it was a pretty nasty game, too.
Yeah, and it's so much fun coming down the stretch. But like you said, Jean-Luc, it's a little nerve-wracking when you have the Canadiens, the Bruins, the Red Wings, the Jackets, the Penguins, the Islanders are all within 2 points of one another, fighting for not just making it out of the Metropolitan, or the Atlantic, but also the wild card. So as Jackets fan, I enjoy it. It's going to give me some heart palpitations tonight. But bring us home a win tonight, Jean-Luc, and get ready for the fan trip because it's going to be a lot of fun.
All right, I'll see you guys in Montreal.
There you go. I think Tyvis is in. Tyvis is in.
If they allow me.
Tyvis, bring the wife, bring the kids. It's all good. You can bring the whole family.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Jean-Luc, I don't have an active passport, so I'm out.
That's crazy.
I'm actually going.
Shame on you.
I know.
Where did you guys find this guy?
I was going to fly a domestic flight, and I didn't even know that I had the updated ID. I didn't even know. Like, I was getting on this plane. I just thought they were nice and let me on the plane. I hand my ID to my wife. She goes, you're an idiot. You filled out. You got the updated ID. Because I took an expired passport to try to get on a domestic flight, and they let me on. I'm all over the place. But I'll promise you this, Jean-Luc. I'll get it done, and I will join the trip next year, okay?
All right, you get that passport, and then all you guys are coming as well. That'll be a blast.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Jean-Luc, enjoy it. There he goes, Jean-Luc Grandpierre. Again, bluejackets.com/fan trip. If you want to go up to Montreal April 10th through the 12th, they take care of everything. The flight, the dinner, hanging out with Jean-Luc. I know Tyvis, we'll make it a show outing. Will T-Bone go?
Take the show on the road.
Just take me with you guys. I'll get a passport. I'll go. It'll be fine. We'll probably continue this conversation about why I don't have a passport. We'll get to that coming up. But we also got to talk some Ohio State basketball because offseason is here for the Buckeyes. What do they need to do to try to get over that hump in the NCAA tournament? And the most important things for Jake Diebler to get done comes your way in 2 minutes right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Over on the east side, we are noticing lane closures happening right now, affecting that 270 southbound ramp to 70 eastbound. That will be lasting until Thursday as well. At least it's going to be lasting for half a day for those days, 6 a.m. to about 12 in the afternoon. Also, a heads up for our friends in the southeast corner, just outside of Groveport. Lane restrictions also there. It's at 270 northbound direction at that 33 intersection, down 2 lanes. That's lasting until 30 days. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Mike Rowe here with another fun fact. If your concrete is cracked or uneven, you can actually lift it back up. Whether it's a sinking driveway, a patio, or a sidewalk, do yourself a favor and call a groundworks company. I spent some time working with these guys. They're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to lift your concrete slabs. Schedule a free inspection with Ohio Basement Authority, a groundworks company.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Score big at Germain Toyota of Columbus and drive home the 2026 Toyota Tundra for 2.99% APR for up to 72 months and $1,000 in Toyota financial cash. Germain Toyota of Columbus on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road or online at germaintoyota.net.
Columbus has a new football team, the Aviators. UFL football lands April 3rd. Be there for our home opener at historic Crew Stadium. Don't miss it. Get your tickets now at UFLaviators.com. That's UFLaviators.com. United, we fly.
Hi, Dave.
Your people were at my house yesterday.
Are you happy they came?
I never realized how much that junk was bothering me until it was gone.
We love to give people that clean, happy feeling, Dave. Thanks for calling.
I feel great. Can I say one more thing?
Sure.
When your wonderful people were about to drive away, I looked at my wife and said, that was love with its sleeves rolled up.
Did your wife agree?
Absolutely.
Dave, you made my day.
We make junk disappear.
All you have to do is point.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK
or visit 1-800-GOTJUNK.com.
Things people don't believe in. Little green aliens. Bigfoot. And that Spectrum TV combines all your favorite streaming apps with live TV at no extra cost. But that one is actually true. You get over $100 worth of streaming apps like HBO Max, Hulu, Paramount Plus, Peacock, AMC Plus, and more, included with live TV at no extra cost. It's only the way TV should be. It's only everything. Learn more at SpectrumTV.com.
Aetna has been my lifesaver. Easy to understand, and if not, customer service is always there to help.
Those words from a real Aetna Medicare Advantage member speak to why U.S. News & World Report named us a best Medicare Advantage company. Because we show up with care management that ensures doctors work together on complicated conditions. We show up with the latest in online tools to make healthcare easier to use anytime. We show up for you, because that's how healthier happens together. Member feedback has been edited for length and clarity.
Looking for a stable career you can count on in 2026? Don't miss Uline's warehouse hiring event this March in Etna. Backed by over 45 years of success, Uline offers job stability, training, and the chance to build a rewarding career. New warehouse team members earn $26 an hour or more, plus full health coverage and a 401k with 6% match, starting day one. Sign up for your warehouse interview on Thursday, March 26th in Etna at uline.jobs. That's uline.jobs.
President Trump has shown you are safer when strong leaders stand with law enforcement. That's why, as governor, Vivek Ramaswamy will partner with police to uphold our laws, keep dangerous criminals behind bars, and protect your family. Law enforcement knows Vivek has their back. That's why 65 Ohio sheriffs endorsed him, including Sheriff Stephen Lavorchek.
Safe streets don't just happen. They happen when criminals know tough leaders are in charge. Ohio law enforcement supports Vivek Ramaswamy because, like President Trump, Vivek supports us. Vivek will empower police to arrest violent criminals quickly and decisively, putting trained resource officers in every school and restoring law and order statewide, so our families feel secure in our homes and communities. Vivek's proudly endorsed by President Trump and Ohio law enforcement. Join us in supporting Vivek Ramaswamy.
Lower costs, bigger paychecks, better schools. Vivek Ramaswamy for governor.
Paid for by Vivek Ramaswamy and Rob McCauley for Ohio.
Catch all the buzzer beaters, upsets, bracket busters, and more at the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. It's the greatest month of the year.
Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. All of the hair on their heads is slowly migrating to the lower part of their faces and cracking. This is T-Bone and Tyvis.
Well, off-season for all of 16 NCAA men's Division I teams, because we're in the Sweet 16. I can do that math. Here we are. And one of those teams, unfortunately, is the Ohio State Buckeyes. What do they have to do this offseason? Great article from 11 Warriors. Let's get into it. Welcome back, T-Bone and Tyvis, right here on The Fan. He, of course, Tyvis Powell. I'm Matt Fontana, Dylan Gonzalez alongside. Get the podcast wherever you get your podcasts. We're also up on YouTube. We'll get to some hot takes a little bit later in the show. We're going to revisit that hot-cold question, too, Tyvis, because we differ completely on this
It's nothing to really revisit. I mean, you're wrong.
You're wrong. Yeah,
you are wrong.
Would you rather be hot or cold the rest of your life? We'll get to that in a little bit. But you can also go to the Fan app, record your audio, send us your hot take on the audio side of things. The T-Bone and Tyvis podcast, brought to you by Capital Ford of Columbus. A great article by Andy Anders of 11 Warriors, basically laying out, I think, 3 key things for the Ohio State men's team as they're into the offseason to – the Tyvis improve, and I starting the article like Andy did, where this was just kind of the shock to me, and I know we got into this earlier about why I'm kind of down on the NCAA tournament, and I think it is because Ohio State hasn't been competitive, where for the 13th consecutive season, 13 years old, there are kids in high school or starting high school that have not seen Ohio State make it out of the second or the first weekend, make it to the second location, the second weekend in the NCAA tournament. Tyvis, 13 years, I would have never believed that. Coming from like that era of even when you were at Ohio State or a little bit before, the Dieblers and the Crafts and the Jared Sullingers and, all that. Like, it is shocking that it's been 13 years since Ohio State has basically won 2 games in the NCAA tournament.
Was the Final Four the last year?
Sweet 16 with Deshaun Thomas and Aaron Kraft. They got to the Elite 8, and then they lost to Wichita State to go to the Final Four. That was in 2013.
State.
Yeah.
Mm.
Was that? Well, I mean, like, I just remember.
Is that the Ronnie Baker teams?
Well, I think he was a little after that, but he was also actually in college for 4 years, unlike a lot of these other guys. Wichita. But even then, Deshaun Thomas and Aaron Kraft. That was the last team to make it to beyond, like basically make it to the Sweet 16 or beyond. They made it to the Elite 8. And the thing is, we know Ohio State has the resources. They've got the money. They've got the
apparently not, because a lot of people come out and say that they don't get money, which me and Bone depicted yesterday. Like I think that's a false narrative.
I agree. I think let's call it for what it is, guys. You got to show that you can make the most of the resources. Like, you want more, show them you can do with what you got. And I think Jake Diebler did that this year. I think you showed, hey, Bynum is going to be a really good player, right? Obviously you're excited about Johnson coming in next year as a 5-star recruit. I understand all of that. And yeah, you would have liked to have won another game or won a game against TCU, but you made it. And I think you show a little bit as you get ready to go for the future. Anthony Thompson, coming in, next year. But I think, as Andy writes, the first thing they got our general manager. We are at that point of college athletics where you've got coaches. You need a general manager. Ohio State basketball doesn't have that yet. They need to go find their Adrian Wojnarowski, right? He's that for the St. Bonaventure team. Can you find – I don't think it has to be a former alumni or anything like that, but Tyvis, they got to find somebody that can handle the roster side of things so Jake Diebler can just focus on coaching.
No, I agree with that 100%. Like I said, I don't think it's a money thing. I just think that they're missing in the transfer portal guys that they're getting. Has there been a transfer portal guy in the past couple of years that they've gotten that's made a huge impact? I guess, is Christoph Tilley the most impactful?
So it's funny you say
we
that.
Got?
Andy puts this in the article. Next up, he writes this, for the love of God, get the right transfers. I don't want to run through, but it's like Michi Johnson, Aaron Bradshaw, Gabe Cupps contributed, Brandon Noel contributed, Christoph Tilley contributed. But as he writes, Micah Parrish is probably the only transfer that Jake Diebler has had that has actually had the impact that you expected to have, and that's the tough thing, which gets into another thing where you mentioned this, they need a rim protecting 7-foot kind of guy down there to block shots, and they've had injury. Bradshaw just really hasn't turned out to be expected what you thought he was going to be and all that. But that's the transfer portal. That's the world that we live in right now. You got to be hitting on higher rates on that. And the scary thing is there are going to be teams coming calling for John Mobley. Like, there are going to be teams that are going to try to come get Bynum out of Ohio State to go somewhere else. I think you need to prove it to those guys in the transfer portal that you're getting guys to come in here and elevate this program on top of Anthony Thompson, who's coming as a freshman. I think it's hard to – I know he's a 5-star, but it's hard to, just put that all on a freshman to do. They got to get better in the transfer portal.
Well, I think that if I'm Mobley or Bynum, you have to have that tough conversation. Show me the plan. Yeah. Show me what the plan. Show me what the offseason plan is. Because if you're going to tell me that you're going to bring in this freshman and then that's it, that's not going to work for me. That's not going to cut it. You know what I'm saying? So show me how we're going to get past the first game in the tournament next year. I need to see what that looks like. Because if not, then I need to go somewhere else that I can maximize my potential and maximize my college experience. You know what I'm saying? So it's a tough offseason. Like, they got to have a tough conversation over there with how they're going to improve this roster. And it don't have to be, it doesn't have to be they need to flip the entire team. I wouldn't say all of that. I would say that, though, you better make sure that the starting five is solid and you got one or two pieces that actually can come into the game, because our bench this year was embarrassing. Like that it was they were non-existent in a lot of games this season. There's no way you can go far in the tournament with that.
Well, you said solidify the starting five. In order for them to do that, they need to get a high-quality guard to play next to Mobley in the portal, and then they need to get a starting quality center. And you know what? I don't want the Euro big that can shoot and pass and do this and the other. Give me a guy that can defend the rim and, will catch lobs on the other end. You
got to get rebounds.
I don't need the soft center anymore at Ohio State. And, Matt, you said something about a GM. This thought just came to my mind when you brought that up. Call Thad Matta. See if he wants to be the GM of the Ohio State
That's a great point.
Program.
He's busy. He ain't busy anymore. He's done. He retired. And by the way, he's not even 60. My buddies and I sent me this thing when Thad Matta retired. And they go, do you know that Thad Matta is only 58 years old? And I was like, no way. And then you look, he got the Ohio State job when he was in his 30s, which is nuts. Call him. But Dylan, you want to know why you can't call him?
The breakup was not great.
Well, beyond, yes, I agree. But he also proved to be right in that, did he not? So that's a win for Thad Matta in a way.
People will want him to be the head coach.
Thank you, Tyvis. Correct.
And it will it'll put more pressure on Diebler.
Yep. 100%. You can't have two roosters in that hen house, man. You just can't have it. And I'm not saying that Jake Diebler, listen, man, there's people calling for his job now. After this, he's been on the job for 2 years. This offseason is maybe the most pivotal offseason that the Ohio State men's basketball team has had in a decade. Because you go from Holtman to Diebler. You give Diebler his first year to get things set. Okay, here we are. And what they do this offseason, you are on this teeter. Where you do the right things, you're back to competing for Elite Eights and Sweet 16s. You don't, you're falling backwards. You're just going to be doing this all over again in a couple years. I don't want to live in that world. I don't want to be there. This offseason is so huge and massive for Ohio State. And I guess I'll just lean back, guys, and hope for the best. The fact that you got a 5-star recruit coming in. That wasn't always the case at Ohio State. And the fact that Anthony Thompson is coming to the Buckeyes, that's a good start. But you're going to need plenty more. We all love a mock draft, including Todd McShay's. If you're a Bengals fan, you are going to want Todd McShay's mock draft to come to fruition. I had to do a double take when I saw his pick for the Bengals. We'll go through the Browns. We'll go through the Buckeyes. It's all coming up right here. T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan.
Fan Traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Noticing a few crashes out there right now. The first one's going to be over by Linden, just north of downtown, 71 southbound at North Broadway, where that left lane is currently blocked. Traffic far back, even passing Morse Road out there. A live look also for a crash on the north side, 270 eastbound, just passing Cleveland Avenue. That right shoulder is still blocked this morning. We've been watching this crash the past hour or so. Still an active situation. Folks, if you can, take 161 eastbound and get you all around it. Get you back going, thankfully, on 270 southbound. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Thursday is Red's opening day, and that means free Coney Day at Skyline Chili. Hit your neighborhood Skyline to get a free cheese Coney with any beverage purchase. All day Thursday. One free Coney per person per visit at participating Skyline locations.
Enjoy more ways to save at Kroger, like low prices in every aisle. And you can clip and save more with digital coupons in the Kroger app. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. So it's always easy to save big. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply. See site for details.
Save big on varieties of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or Polar Seltzer water. Select packs or buy 3, get 3 free with your card. Limit 12. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Take your shot to save at Great Lakes Hyundai in Columbus or Dublin. Make a basket for extra savings on top of big shot deals on every model from Elantra to Palisade. Go now, Dublin or Columbus or glakeshyundai.com. See dealer for details. Ends 3/31.
Columbus drivers, there's a new Ford service team in town, and we're ready to earn your business. At the Capital Ford of Columbus Service Department, we believe service should be easy. That's why we can come to you. Need an oil change, battery, recall, or routine maintenance? Our mobile service team brings a certified Ford service technician right to your home or workplace. No waiting rooms, no wasted time. And when you do visit us, you'll see what makes a new dealership different. We work harder to show we care. Call or schedule online today with Capital Ford in Whitehall. 614-300-6657.
At ADP, we know you want your landscape business to succeed, but we don't know anything about landscaping. ADP only knows how to handle the business of your small business. So if ADP focuses on the payroll and the HR, while you focus on the land and the scaping, success should follow. Just don't expect us to know all about Kentucky bluegrass, zero-turn cutting, or what to do with a woodchuck. That's for you to figure out. Let ADP help your small business focus on the part of the business you're good at. ADP for small business.
Pepsi Prebiotic Cola in original and cherry vanilla. That Pepsi taste you love, with no artificial sweeteners, only 30 calories, just 5 grams of sugar, and 3 grams of prebiotic fiber. That great Pepsi taste with even more to love. Pepsi Prebiotic Cola. Unbelievably Pepsi.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at RunyonDentalGroup.com. That's RunyonDentalGroup.com. Raise your hand if you're excited about feeling older faster than you should. No takers? Yeah, I didn't think so. Ongoing pain makes you feel older than you are, but here's the good news. QC Kinetics patients right here in Columbus, they're getting relief right now, feeling younger and jumping back into life full speed ahead, and that didn't happen in an operating room. My friend Dr. Ray Tesner and his team use the latest regenerative treatments backed by real science. Treatments that take the tiny, powerful healing tools inside your body, concentrate them right where you need the relief the most. This is how I was treated. I had a knee issue. I went in there. We had a consultation. I went through a series of treatments. And you know what? After a handful of months, my knee started feeling better and better until I was able to get out there and do the things I loved again. It's all true. It's all real. The sooner you get started, the sooner your inflammation eases and the sooner you'll start feeling better again. So find out if you're a candidate at your free consultation at qckinetics.com/Columbus or 380-208-4544.
BMI FCU is celebrating their 90th anniversary all year long with monthly sweepstakes. Open a BMI FCU Visa credit card. Enjoy rates lower than the national average and a special rate on balance transfers. Apply today at bmifcu.org/BMI. housekeeping.com/visa.
Hey there, friends. High Bank isn't just award-winning whiskey. They also make the best vodka in America. With 3 Central Ohio locations serving scratch-made food and craft cocktails, High Bank is perfect for date night, game day, or drinks with friends. Learn more at highbankco.com. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
With all that can go wrong in your home, it's enough to make you say, "Oh, brother." With Brothers Roofing and Construction, one call covers it all. Roofing, siding, rotting decks, bad chimneys. We take care of it all. And we do it right the first time.
When we designed our Columbus Blue Jacket ticket plans, we designed them for fans like you. For fans who want to choose their games and their seats. And fans who need flexibility when their plans change. Columbus Blue Jacket season ticket plans. Get your tickets now at bluejackets.com.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Tyvis says that in all his years being in football locker rooms, he never once looked at another man's junk. He cannot say the same thing about working at this radio station. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
I don't know how to transition from that to Todd McShay's mock draft, but here we are. I do want to come down. I have an idea of what the studio looks like. I've never actually been in the studio, though, which is crazy. I've been doing this for about a year now. I'm Matt Fontaine in for T-Bone. He's Tyvis Powell, Dylan Gonzalez alongside. And I've been to Columbus twice in the span that I've been working here, but they were both weekends and stuff. I think this summer I'm just going to have to tell Fish, I'm just going to bombard your even if T-Bone is in, I think I'm just going to come join you guys in the studio for a week or something. I'll just come hang out.
You're always welcome. When I first started doing some IC stuff here, I did the Buckeye show with Timmy Hall, and I did that for a year and a half, and I always did it from in Worcester. So when I moved to Columbus, that was the first time I met Tim in the flesh and did a show in the studio.
You and I have met each other prior, obviously, to doing this, but then you and I did a Browns pregame show this last fall, and I saw you, and was the first thing I'm like, we've done 50 shows together, and this is the first this year, and this is the first time that we've seen each other in person. So I don't know if I want to come see everybody's junk down there at the studio, but I'll come on down and see you guys. It'll be a lot of fun. All right, I love mock drafts, and I think, are you guys like me, where there's people that you put more stock into their mock drafts? Because the draft analyst world is vast, and there's a lot of people, and I just feel like Todd McShay has always been near top of my list. I don't know. Is there a guy? Are you guys like me? You really like Todd, or is there another draft analyst that you
Mel
really like?
And Todd is probably the top of everybody's list, because Mel and Todd, to me, are the only ones that this is their main thing that they do is this.
Yeah.
Everybody else, they work for NFL Network and stuff like that, so they got other things going on. But these two guys, which didn't they break up? Didn't ESPN pay Mel and not Todd?
Yeah, I mean there was obviously the restructure and all that. And the thing about Todd McShay was he was the guy that came through, oh, man, we're going to have to go. Basically, it was their version of American Idol. Remember when they had a contest for, the average person to become an analyst at ESPN? That was Todd McShay.
That was
that was him.
My boy Mike Hall, who I work with, won it, and I think Dave Holmes won it.
Yeah,
Todd won that competition.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I thought that was how.
It's crazy. I know the first 2 winners from that competition. What is the name of that show?
I can't remember. I'm looking here. So McShay obviously had an undergrad. He worked full time for War Room, which is a startup publication, and eventually was bought by ESPN and Scouts.
Dream
Inc.
Job. That's what it was called.
Yeah, and then obviously, he unfortunately got let go, and now he's at the Ringer, and he started his own podcast and all that kind of stuff. So. He's one of the ones that I put a lot of stock. Like Jordan Reed, I think Matt Miller's really great, but it's Todd McShay, right? So he puts out his mock draft yesterday, 3.0 at the Ringer. Obviously, number 1, we can just skip this. It's Fernando Mendoza. Guys, I really think number 2 is also pretty close to being locked in, and that's Arvell Reese going to the Jets. I see that more and more. That's who Todd has it to. Francis Mauioga goes 3, Bain 4, Jeremiah Love goes 5 to the Giants. And at number 6, Carnell Tate to the Cleveland Browns. He said it comes down to tackle and wide receiver and feels like they could get a tackle a little bit later on. Tyvis, I'm going to be honest, I want to tackle, but this push for Carnell Tate at 6 is picking up steam this week. I felt it.
The crazy thing is, so for the past 2 weeks, it's been Monroe Freeland. Everybody's Monroe Freeland. And the consensus on Monroe Freeland is that he will become a premier left tackle, but right off the bat, he's got some things that he's got to work on because he's young in the starts. So now, as of this week, the hot take has been take the receiver at 6 and get Blake Miller at 24 because he's the new guy that everybody just loves is Blake Miller. So to me, I feel like as long as you leave the first round with a receiver and a tackle, I'm good either way. It doesn't matter who's at 6, who's at 24. If you get that, I'm good.
I agree, and there's just a little more depth, I think, to the receivers, which is why I'm leaning that way. We'll get to Chris Sims' rankings a little bit. Let's do this. Let's catch a break. I told you don't want to miss the Cincinnati pick if you're a Bengals fan, because if it fell this way for Cincinnati, you're going to jump for joy. You're going to be absolutely through the roof if Todd McShay's mock draft goes the way that you want. We'll get to the Bengals pick, the second Browns pick, and more Buckeyes. It's all coming your way right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Well, right now, if you're heading over to the east side by Bryce, do expect some lane restrictions in that area. It's on that 270 southbound ramp to 70 eastbound, and it won't be happening until about 12 this afternoon. But here's the thing, that project will be lasting for a few days, at least until Thursday. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your Fan Traffic.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Tired of snoring? Dr. Mark Levy can help with a custom mouthpiece that opens your airway and stops the snoring. No mask, no noise. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com today. Stop snoring. Sleep better. Live better.
Don't miss the Floor Madness outlet sale at Right Rug Flooring. Save up to 80% on truckloads of floors and more, including tiles starting at 19 cents a square foot and a massive selection of laminate, luxury vinyl, and carpet, all drastically reduced. Save up to 80% during the Floor Madness outlet sale at Right Rug Flooring on Poth Road in Whitehall. 24-month special financing is available with approved credit. Hurry, the Floor Madness outlet sale ends March 30th. Dealers welcome.
Right here, right now. Your mornings are jam-packed. So if you're going to add anything, make it your favorite bite from Tim Hortons. Buy any size beverage and add a daily baked donut for $1, a tasty bagel for $2, or a freshly cracked hot breakfast sandwich for just $3. It's the best way to add more to your morning. The 1-2-3 menu, only at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. At participating U.S. restaurants, must ask for offer in restaurant. Tax extra exclusions and terms apply at timhortons.com/offer-terms. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
The water's standing in the tub. My toilets will not flush. The smell's getting bad in here. I need help in a rush.
Clogged drain, no problem. It's 93 or free. I'll clear any drain you don't pay with a 1-year guarantee.
It's 93 or free. Guaranteed.
Call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
Hey, Columbus, big news. For a limited time, get Uber One free for a full year so you can save on food and rides. That's a $96 value on us. Just use code Columbus. Get 1 year of $0 delivery fees, 10% off eligible food and grocery orders, and up to 6% Uber One credits on rides. Sign up for this limited time offer today using code Columbus and save big with Uber One. Offer valid through 3/31/26. Savings and $0 delivery fee on eligible orders and rides only. Fees and terms apply. See app for details.
With Aetna, I always get a quick answer, and I don't have to search on the internet. They go above and beyond to help me with whatever I need.
Those words from a real Aetna Medicare Advantage member speak to why U.S. News & World Report named us a best Medicare Advantage company. Because we show up on calls with members and doctor's offices when requested. We show up with access to convenient care options. We show up for you. Because that's how healthier happens together. Member feedback has been edited for length and clarity.
Hey, it's T-Bone again. Listen up. Sleep apnea doesn't have to rule your nights. Dr. Mark Levy's been treating snoring and sleep apnea for over 15 years with proven results. And now he has an office in Marysville. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or go to sleepbettercolumbus.com. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
Accountability in elections isn't partisan. And in Ohio, Republican and Democrat teams work together to create confidence in every election result. Ohio's elections are accurate, accountable, and accessible. Always. So make your plan to vote at voteohio.gov.
Hi, the Scott Antique Markets are back again at the Ohio Expo Center, featuring hundreds of vendors with collectibles and merchandise from all over the world. The market is one weekend monthly, November through March. Build your family heirlooms. You can find everything that gets old. Just take I-71 to exit 111 to enjoy America's favorite treasure hunt. Visit thescottantiquemarket.com for more information. Come join us at the Ohio Expo Center for the Scott Antique Markets. It's huge. It's the Scott Antique Markets this weekend.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Get a recap of all the day's news from across the state. The ONN Daily Podcast. Listen at onnradio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts from the Ohio News Network.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios, driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good morning, I'm Dylan Gonzalez. The Ohio State women's basketball team lost to Notre Dame 83-73 at the Shot in what was the second round of the NCAA tournament. This is now the third year in a row the Buckeyes have suffered a home loss in the round of 32. The Columbus Blue Jackets will try to get back in the win column when they visit the Philadelphia Flyers tonight. Coverage starts at 6:30 right here on The Fan. Former Ohio State Buckeye wide receiver Jackson Smith-Njigba got a bag yesterday. JSN signed a 4-year, $168 million deal, making him the highest paid receiver in NFL history. And speaking of former Buckeyes, Marvin Harrison Jr.'s brother, Jet Harrison, was ranked the #1 recruit by Rivals for the 2028 class, and he'll visit Ohio State this weekend. This update is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. If you're not happy with your results in the first week, get 100% of your money back with Awaken180weightloss.com.
Both of these men played sports in high school. Only one of them was good at it. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
Draft season upon us. Todd McShay dropping 3.0 on the ringer yesterday. If you're a Bengals fan, you want this to happen. And I do think that if you're a Browns fan, you'd be happy about this one as well. It's T-Bone and Tyvis, Matt Fontaine in for T-Bone this morning. Don't forget you get the podcast wherever you get your podcasts. We're streaming on YouTube. We'll get to some of our hot takes on the YouTube comments as well. You can also do the Fan app, record the audio, and send it right here to the show, the T-Bone and Tyvis podcast, brought to you by Capital Ford of Columbus. So we ran through the first couple of picks here for Todd McShay's mock draft, and it comes to Carnell Tate coming to the Browns at 6, which I feel like is starting to pick up a little bit of steam here. He goes Sonny Styles 7 to the Commanders. David Bailey, the edge rusher, 8 to the Saints. Mansour Delane goes to the Chiefs. He obviously ran was a pro day yesterday or a couple days ago, ran a good 40 there.
Yesterday. He ran a 4.38.
Out of LSU. Woo, flying. Now, here's the one that Bengals fans, because I've mentioned a bunch of names, Tyvis, pal. I've not mentioned Caleb Downs. He has him falling 10 to the Bengals. Do you think, and by the way, they moved the time up. You only get 8 minutes now in the first round because they're sick of the draft ending at midnight. So it used to be 15 back in the day, minutes per pick. It was 10. Now it's 8. Tyvis, I think Cincinnati would take 8 seconds to sprint up to that podium and take Caleb Downs if he was available at 10 there for the Bengals.
That would be their dream. I don't think he makes it there. I think he goes I for some odd reason think he goes like 5th to the Giants for some odd reason.
I could see that. I mean, the Giants, in Todd's mock, he has Jeremiah Love because his thought is,
I think he's going to Tennessee. Or he might go to Arizona. I don't know why the Arizona. Who does he got Arizona taking?
He has Arizona taking Maui Yoga at 3, which is another pick that I see a lot of people making for the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Because they have Paris Johnson, obviously Buckeye there. But then their other tackle, oh, man, he's been there forever. Their other tackle is going to be on his way out. So they're going to take Maui Yoga because they could just
But they've never had a running back. And Mike LaFleur knows how important a running back is to that offense that he's going to run, because he's going to run the same thing as Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, Kevin O'Connell. He knows how important that running back is. And Jeremiah Love is supposed to be the best running back since Bijan Robinson coming out as far as a prospect. So you mean to tell me they not going to take a running back? They got the receivers. They got Marvin. They got Michael Wilson. They got Trey McBride. They don't have a running back. You mean to tell me
Connor's still hurt?
You mean to tell me you're going to pass on this quote-unquote generational talent?
I saw a mock out of PFF that they came back up and traded back up to get him like later in the first round. He ain't going to last. I'm with you. I don't think he's going to last very far. I really thought about him at 8 to the Saints, talking about Jeremiah Love, because Alvin Kamara's going to be out of there, and they kind of turn that back over. I don't understand the Giants pick because they have Cam Scatterbo.
Like, that's what I'm saying.
Why, when they let him, I'm with you. I think Caleb Downs makes a lot of sense for that defense.
I think he's going 5th to the Giants. I mean,
I like it.
They have a great defensive line. You get a guy in the back end that can make plays and can also be a coach on the field that can confuse quarterbacks, that confuse them enough to make them hold the ball for 1 extra second. That allows your pass rush to get there. You absolutely make that. Unless you're going corner at the pick, like Caleb Downs would be the answer for me if I was the Giants. But again, I'm not in the building. I'm not a general manager. To me, that's what makes sense. You know, it's like back when the Browns had Myles Garrett and everybody wanted them to draft Bradley Chubb, but then they drafted Denzel because they needed Denzel to cover so to get Myles Garrett can get to the sack. Like, I feel like that's a similar situation that the Giants are in. Their defensive line is nasty. They got 4 dogs on the defensive line. They just don't got nobody in the secondary that can make that quarterback hold the ball for an extra second. So, to me, Caleb Downs does that. I know he plays safety, but, again, if you watch Caleb Downs at Ohio State, the way he was pre-snap making the quarterback take quarterbacks' pre-thoughts and making them seem like, all right, that's not going to be there because he knows that I'm trying to go there. He took it away by just lining up in this position. That buys the pass rush an extra second. So, to me, if I was the Giants, I would take Caleb Downs, but, again, that's solely up to them.
So Todd actually writes about Caleb Downs. Here's his write-up about Jeremiah Love 5 to the Giants. He said, for the reasons I outlined with the Titans, I'm not fully convinced this is the pick. He said, you could pair Sonny Styles with the recently signed Tremaine Edmonds at linebacker. And he said, I like Caleb Downs here as well. But Todd writes that league intel suggests the Giants are one of the most likely teams to take Jeremiah Love in the top 10 alongside the Washington Commanders at 7. And he writes the Chiefs, even though they just signed Kenneth Walker. So I don't know. I mean, I would assume that just takes Jeremiah Love off the board for them, and they go offensive line. And he said the Rams could trade up for Love. So he's basically just hearing the Giants really like Jeremiah Love. But we got to remember what, Tyvis. It's that you're going to hear all of these teams go, we really like this guy, and if you want him, you better come get him.
Yeah, it's silly season.
It's 100% silly season, which, again, I'm not saying it's silly for the Browns to take Carnell Tate at 6, which I get, but that's getting a lot of push recently, which I'm kind of wary about. But, again, in Todd's mock, he has Caleb Downs falling all the way to 10 to the Bengals, which, again, they would just sprint up there and go get him. He's got a little run here on the lineman where Spencer Fano goes 14. He's got a Omar Cooper going 16. Receiver out of Indiana to the Jets.
Yeah, a lot of
He's got Monroe Freeling going 17 to the line, the Lions. Tyvis, your guy. Blake Miller, 19 to the Panthers. He's got Vega Ione, the guard from Penn State, going 21 to the Steelers. Caden Proctor goes 23 to the Eagles. Caleb Lomu, 24 to the Browns.
He's a left tackle, correct? Because Spencer Fano is the right tackle, right?
Correct, yeah. And I think that's the problem with Mauioga, Fano. Like, are you going to flip these guys?
Well, the last time they tried to do that, it didn't work with Jed Wills.
I know, bro, but here's my thing.
Then they tried it with DeJuan, and it didn't work either.
You're right. Those are examples of guys that it didn't work. I think the injuries led to that personally because both those guys got hurt, and Jed Wills was good his rookie year, even after a flip. Lane Johnson flipped positions. Tristan Wirfs flipped positions in the NFL. We've seen it before. I want to take it on a case-by-case basis. I'm interested to see what the Lions do now that Taylor Decker's gone. Are you going to flip Penei Sewell, who's one of the best right tackles in the game? I'm not going to completely discredit it about the flip because we hear how hard it is. I don't know, man. And that's if I saw the Browns go Carnell Tate at 6 and Caleb Lomu at 24, that would tell me the same thing you're bringing up. They are worried about that flip. I mean, they don't want him.
Correct me if I'm wrong, right? If somebody hits you in the face 2 times and you saw him for a 3rd time, you'd be ready for that hit, wouldn't you?
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice.
I think that's where the Browns are. They with Jed Wills, because this regime is the one that Jed Wills was their first pick, and they flipped them and that fell apart. Then they went and got DeWine.
Factors going on.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Then they got DeWine and tried it with DeWine, and then that fell apart. So they're like, nah, we just gonna get a guy that naturally plays the position.
Well, the other thing about Lomu, because this is what Todd McShay writes, he could probably benefit and stay in college to improve consistency and strength. What's all of a sudden this knock on Monroe Freeling? Ryan Baldinger was on Cleveland Show Up Here, 92.3 The Fan, and he said, I'm worried about Monroe Freeling's strength.
Yeah, I heard that's the big knock.
But, like, Tyvis, follow me on this. Tell me if you agree with me on this. I need a guy that's good in year 3. Like, this year for the Browns, I kind of see being as a wash and a rough go of it. I need a guy that's going to excel in years 3, 4, 5, get a second contract, 6, 7 down the road. I'd rather have a guy that is that than a 1-year flash in the pan. He's good for a rookie, and then you never talk to him again.
Are you talking about a receiver or are you talking about tackle?
Really, any position. Like,
I think everybody wants that, but I mean, there's going to be some hits and some misses every single year. I think that you have to look at it honestly, when you look at this year's tackles, to me, there is no bona fide sure thing at tackle.
I agree.
Like everybody had, like the only one would have been Francis, and they want to move him to guard. Like that's so to me, there is no bona fide tackle. Whoever selects a tackle, what you're telling me is that you have enough confidence in your offensive line coach, which to me is the biggest difference of when it was to where it is now with the Browns. Obviously, back when they made their picks, they had what's the long Bill Callahan, and things ever since he walked out the door, things have been downhill. Now you're going to get George Worthhoff, who a lot of people have a ton of respect for. You've seen this offseason, they went and got. It's not like they got the top free agents on the offensive line. They got guys who have potential to be really good. Now, Elton Jenkins is the only one that has proven he can be a Pro Bowler, but that was at left guard. If they're putting him at center, he has not proved that yet because he's had an injury. But Zion Johnson, Tyvis Howard, all those guys are projects to me that can potentially be good, and they're banking on George Warhop to get them to that. And if they sign a guy like Monroe Freeland or draft a guy like Monroe Freeland or anybody in this draft at tackle, they're basically telling me that George Warhop is going to get these guys to where we need this offensive line to be.
And especially you've only left one position open, left tackle. You got guards, you got a center, you've got a tackle, you've got everything but a left tackle. And that is just the final thing about 6 versus 24. That is clearly the most glaring need on your team. You've got Jerry Jeudy, and I want a receiver, and I'm really open to the idea of going tackle, receiver, 24 and the second round. Tyvis, I need a left tackle. Like, I want him at 6. I'm sick of playing these games. It annoys the hell out of me.
So who would you take?
Which one?
Who would you
take? I want Maui Oga, and that's the thing. People are on me about the flip. I think he is the best offensive lineman in this draft. And, Matt, he might be a guard in the future. I understand that. And, listen, I'm not making this comparison in any way possible. They said the same thing about Tristan Wirfs. People kept saying, he's a little shorter guy, a little shorter arms. He's going to be a guard. Guy's an all-pro tackle. I will take Maui Oga. And if he becomes a guard, he becomes a guard. I know the Browns need a left tackle. It's Maui Oga. Then it's Freeling for me. Then it's Fano.
So one of those guys. So if the Cardinals take Maui Oga,
which I think they will,
you're taking Freeland at 6.
Yep,
you don't think that's too high?
See, the thing is, you get into you could trade back and certainly pick up some other assets. 10 is as far as I would go.
Yeah,
10 is as far as I would go.
So would you trade with Cincinnati an in-conference people so they can get Caleb Downs?
Caleb Downs? Sure. They want to give me a future hype. I don't know if that's
They're not
necessarily
going to
worth
do that.
a one.
You might get a 2. That'll probably be that. They ain't giving you next year's 1. Nobody's giving up next year's 1.
I was going to say, they'll get a 2 and a TV from the stadium. Dude, when they were selling the TV, I'll never let that go. I will never let that go from that Cincinnati organization. They were selling the TVs out of the suites. Throwing a 2 and an old TV and we'll get it done. Well, speaking of receivers, the pipeline might be on for Ohio State. They talk about the brotherhood. This is a legit brother. It's Jet Harrison, Marv's little brother. Could he be a future Buckeye? We'll talk about it right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Over on the east side, we are noticing some major backups after a crash on 70 westbound. It's right at Bryce Road where 2 left lanes are currently blocked, looking at 8 miles per hour for speeds out there. Backups as far back, too, as over by Etna, 70 at State Route 310. We are talking miles and miles of slowdowns, folks. So to avoid it all, if you can, just hop off 70 and take East Main Street instead, westbound through Reynoldsburg, get you southbound 270 and back on 70 in that westbound direction. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
This is Gordon Miller from Miller Lending, the original home of the no closing cost mortgage. With interest rates at their lowest level in 4 years, what's stopping you from taking advantage? Maybe it's the thousands of dollars in closing cost? Well, what if I told you that those costs aren't required and that you decide whether to sacrifice $15,000 to $20,000 of equity at closing or zero? At Miller Lending, we're all about zero and have been offering no-cost loans since 1987. With no title closing or origination fees, imagine having the freedom to refinance any time a lower rate becomes available or a need arises. Even 0.5% lower in rate results in savings of over $100,000 over the life of your loan. So why wait? No-cost loans are real and here to stay. Simply call Miller Lending and see why thousands of satisfied clients have made that choice to say goodbye to closing costs forever. 877-9-NO-COST. That's 877-9-NO-COST. Or simply apply online at nocostmortgage.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender and MLS number 250-2146.
Mike Rowe here with a random fact. More than half of the homes that have basements in North America will experience water damage. It's true. Whether it's basement moisture, flooding, or bowing walls, do yourself a favor and call a groundworks company. I spent some time working with these guys. They're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to waterproof your basement and stabilize your walls. Schedule a free inspection with Ohio Basement Authority, a groundworks company.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Common Man here for Jermaine. Everybody's talking about affordability when buying a car these days, but the truth is, GoJermaine.com has a great selection of affordable inventory. Maybe that tax return's going to hit your mailbox pretty soon. Well, go see my friends because they have 300 new cars under 30 grand, over 300 used cars under 20 grand, and it's only at GoJermaine.com. And along with their $1,000 price promise, no one's going to sell you a car for less. Get started at GoJermaine.com.
What can ADP do for small business? We help answer the business questions, like how do you track employee time? How do you do payroll taxes? Or what does compliance even mean? So small businesses can focus on bigger questions. Now florists can ask, can we invent another holiday to sell bouquets? Pizza shops can ask, how do we stuff a calzone into a pizza crust? And pool cleaners can ask, what is that thing in the filter? These are the questions you can focus on when ADP takes care of the business of your small business. ADP for small business.
Aetna was there for me as I was going through a rough medical patch this year. I had peace of mind, which helped with my healing.
Those words from a real Aetna Medicare Advantage member speak to why U.S. News & World Report named us a best Medicare Advantage company. Because we show up on calls with members and doctors' offices when requested. We show up with the latest in online tools for easier access to healthcare. We show up for you. Because that's how healthier happens together. Member feedback has been edited for length and clarity.
Forget the pot of gold. Save some green at Coughlin Chevrolet. Lease a new 26 Chevy Trax, $169 a month. New 26 Equinox, lease for $229 a month. Or lease a new 26 Silverado, $359 a month. Visit CoughlinChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive.
Coughlin has the car for you.
39-month lease. Silverado 36-month lease. $39.99 due at signing plus tax, title, and license. 10,000 miles per year, 25 cents per mile over. See dealer for details. Ends 3/31/26.
When you saw your heating bills this winter, did you think this is out of control? The problem is your house is leaking money, and the only thing higher than your heating bills are your cooling bills. Steve here from USA Insulation. Let us fix your energy bill problem for good. If you aren't foam insulated, you really aren't insulated. For $99 a month, interest-free, we'll foam your home and help cut those energy bills. 529-2440 or usainsulation.net.
USA Insulation.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Bundle up, it will be chilly this morning with wake-up temperatures below freezing, but this afternoon, plenty of sunshine and daytime highs topping out in the low 50s. For tonight, mostly cloudy overnight with our lows in the 30s, and for Wednesday, a mix of sun and clouds, but even warmer as highs soar into the mid-60s. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
An encyclopedic knowledge of sports and other random things you may or may not care about.
I think I found my mentor.
Rockman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon to 3.
The Fan. Tyvis will put anything in his mouth on a dare. All right, almost anything. No, I stand by my previous statement. This is T-Bone and Tyvis.
Only thing going in my mouth is a cough drop at the moment. But as the weather gets nice, you know, right now the spring is upon us. The weather is warming up. So now you're going to see those guys want to go outside and run with their shirts off to show off that they've been gaining muscle and all of those things. Please make sure if you're suffering from low T, go see my people at Tri-State Men's Health, because outside of that, they can help men lose weight, support metabolism, improve gains in the gym, and more with 4 targeted body composition plans featuring GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1, and more. With the low T treatments combined with the body composition program, most men notice real improvement, more energy, better focus, improved sleep, stronger workouts, and often a renewed sex drive. You start to lose your low T in your early to mid 30s. Guys start to lose 2 to 3% of testosterone production every year. It happens gradually. Before you know it, you're just not the same guy. If this is you, go to TriStateMen'sHealth.com, take their low T quiz. After that, you want to schedule a consult with Tri-State Men's Health, where they will do the lab work and have results within 30 minutes. The cost of the appointment right now is only $99. Don't ignore the signs. Call today and take the first step towards feeling better. Call them today at 800-900-9654 or visit TriStateMen'sHealth.com.
It's Hot Take Tuesday!
My bad. I don't know why.
No, you're good. Tyvis, you like hot? I don't know why you were talking about the cough drop and it made me think about this on a Hot Take Tuesday. Do you guys like spicy food? Like hot?
Yes.
Like,
well,
really?
That not like I'm going to get a Reaper or something, wings or something like that. Like, no.
See,
I like a nice kick to it, though.
No, I got a buddy of mine. He's like, I'm not kidding, guys. I was getting wings with my buddy Dan. This was years ago. He sat down and he looked our server straight in the eye, as nice as he could. And he said, "What's the hottest wing sauce that you have?" And she said something, and he goes, "Can you mix it with something hotter?" And she looked at him like, "What?" And he goes, "When I tell you I want something that is going to melt my face off, that is what I want." And I looked at her and I go, "How do you even eat
What is
that?"
he, sick? And he want his nose to get freed?
He did that all the time. Like the hottest wing sauce, the hottest wrap. Like it didn't matter.
He'd be sitting there sweating, won't he?
That's what I'm saying. And I can't, I do not understand that. Times I don't even want spicy. I don't even like spicy. I'm as bland as you can. Oh, it's terrible.
Oh, whoa. Now, hold on now. Oh, wait. You're going a little too far now. It's like, terrible?
Yeah. I don't want to be in pain eating my food.
Well, I'm not saying it like that, but like everybody nice. My nose going to sweat a little bit. I ain't got no problem with that. That make it a little bit better. Just a little nose sweat.
No. Even like a spicy Cajun is too much for me. Sometimes even Cajun isn't good for me.
You missing out on life.
Can you at least do like barbecue sauce?
No, I like barbecue sauce.
So anything above barbecue is just too much for you?
Yeah, I don't even want like mild. I don't even know if I like mild on wings.
That's crazy.
I'm a
sweet wing guy.
I've been told that I'm a psycho when it comes to hot stuff, when it comes to the temperature of the food. Like, give it to me right off the stove.
Yeah, really? That's the best time to eat it.
Right out the oven.
I do like
I want smoke coming out of my mouth.
Yeah, I agree. I want crispy wings. I want well done wings.
Oh, everybody does. Crunch, get that nice crunch when you bite into it.
Yeah, I'd rather have it overcooked than undercooked. But it is a Hot Take Tuesday. Dylan, what do you got?
All right, so in the YouTube chat, SWK Bearcat will have one that you'll like, Matt. He said, Cinderella's story is a meaningless term for March Madness and should be retired. If you want a Cinderella story, go watch the 90s musical starring Brandy.
Yeah.
Listen to that. Yeah,
that's a banger. That's a banger of a movie.
I like the Cinderella story about you want it in your bracket, but you don't. Tyvis, here's another hot take: brackets are stupid.
Oh my God!
Now that you have sports betting, just bet the games. Just bet the games. Your bracket is probably in the trash, is it not? First off, there are no perfect ones. Everybody's bracket.
Okay, let me ask you, what the only time to me your bracket should be thrown away is if the champion team you picked is eliminated. That's when it's busted.
But like the point thing of just this is the other thing I don't understand about brackets.
The women's bracket, I'm killing it. I think
my women's bracket is better than
I missed 2, maybe 3 games.
I don't like college basketball. Obviously, we've discussed this before, but I do work for ESPN Radio, and they sent us an email, and they go, "Can everybody? We want everybody to fill out a." So those are the only 2 brackets I did. Can I admit something? I ripped off Bose from his I had no idea what to pick. So he goes, I saw from the Bishop and Friends account that they sent out their official show bracket, and I was like, Bo, Baker, and I think Rhyme was involved in that, right? And I was like, Rhymer's smarter than I am. So I was like, I'm just going to rip. I ripped off most of my bracket from the Bishop and Friends show bracket. So I appreciate that, boys. So, but to your point, Tyvis, when you lose your team, you're out. But I don't understand even how, if I had Ohio State beating TCU. Well, they didn't, right? So then I don't get a point on whoever beat TCU. I just rather bet the games. Now that sports betting is legal and bet responsibly, obviously, I'd rather just put together a parlay of all the games that I like for that matchup or that round and do it that way. So I guess, I don't know. Maybe it's because my bracket is in the trash. Now, my champion, gosh, who did I pick? I think I picked UConn.
Oh, for the
I don't
men's?
even know. Yeah, for the men.
I still got Duke versus Wolverines, and I got the Wolverines winning.
I have the Wolverines going to the
Final Four. Now, my Final Four, Vandy messed me up. I have Vandy, Duke, Wolverines, and is it Arizona maybe?
I think I had I don't even remember.
Well, then Arizona.
No, it's not. No, I don't have Arizona.
I'd say 2 teams that have to play each other.
I got to go look at the bracket.
I filled 2 out, and that's all I looked at. Some big news for the Buckeyes. Jet Harrison in on a visit. Of course, you should know that last name because he is Marvin Harrison's not only son, but brother. Marvin Harrison Sr. and Jr. He is only going into his junior year, and he's already number 1 on the Rivals 300. He's already getting, again, Penn State, Syracuse, Oregon, Tennessee, Nebraska, and, of course, Ohio State have already offered him. He's visiting with the Buckeyes. He did visit with the Buckeyes. Tyvis, really what I wanted to ask you about was this, where you have he's already a freshman All-American, St. Joseph Prep. His brother came here. Is it, does Ohio State have to, guard against just walking in and going, dude, your brother came here, we're churning out wide receivers left and right, you're just going to be a Buckeye? You get what I'm saying? It could be easy for somebody, I guess, like me, to sit there and say, look at all the success Ohio State has had with receivers. He's already got a family tie with the team. His brother obviously was a great Buckeye. He loved being here. I don't want to just count my chickens before they hatch. Just say, oh, yeah, Jet Harrison will be in the Buckeyes in the 2028 cycle.
Not with today's recruiting and NIL deals. It's not that easy anymore. It used to be as simple as that, but, these things change. You got a different wide receiver coach now. The guy that coached his brother is not here anymore. So you got to see how the rest of those receivers turn out over that. That's something to look at there. The guy who recruited his brother, or the guy who trained his or coached his brother up is a head coach somewhere. So now you got to think that would play a factor into it as well. And then you got all these other people that could throw bags at you. Texas, Oregon, they're giving you blank checks. So you think about stuff like that. It's not a foregone conclusion that he will be here. We all would love for him to come here, because obviously you see the success that these wide receivers that was here has done here and in the NFL. But you also got to think about LSU. LSU has also got the same thing going for them, So and they got Lane Kiffin now. So to me, it's not a foregone conclusion. It's going to be a battle that's going to probably go down to the very end. Even with guys like JJ, it took all the way until the day of Chris Henry Jr. I think he had to take an extra week.
Well, he pulled back, right?
It took an extra week to figure out what he wanted to do. So, it's not a foregone conclusion.
And again, he's going to be one of the highly recruited ones. He's already 6'2", 185 pounds. He put up 15 touchdowns as a freshman. 10 touchdowns en route to a state championship as a freshman going through it. He's obviously going to be going into his junior year this upcoming fall as he gets ready to go. But, again, the lineage is there, certainly the players, and I would think the Buckeyes are at least going to have a seat at the table, which is sometimes all you can ask for Jet Harrison when he was in town this past weekend on the visit. All right, get those hot takes in. Keep them coming on the YouTube side of things, 97.1 The Fan. We're going to flip over to the pro game, because the bias that is now happening when it comes to the draft, it's not even just Chris Sims with his insane take that we have to get to. It's Dan Orlovsky lighting the world on fire when it comes to Ty Simpson. We'll get to it coming up 2 minutes away here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
In the teens for your speeds over on the north side after a crash 270 eastbound just passing State Route 710, also known as Cleveland Avenue. That right shoulder is currently blocked out there. Folks, if you can, just take 161 instead towards that eastbound direction. Get you back going on 270. We also have a disabled vehicle just north of Linden on that East Cook Road ramp to 71 southbound where that right shoulder is currently blocked. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Hey, Columbus, big news. For a limited time, get Uber One free for a full year so you could save on food and rides. That's a $96 value on us. Just use code Columbus. Get 1 year of $0 delivery fees, 10% off eligible food and grocery orders, and up to 6% Uber One credits on rides. Sign up for this limited time offer today using code Columbus and save big with Uber One. Offer valid through 3/31/26. Savings and $0 delivery fee on eligible orders and rides only. Fees and terms apply. See app for details.
Thursday is Red's opening day, and that means free Coney Day at Skyline Chili. Hit your neighborhood Skyline to get a free cheese coney with any beverage purchase all day Thursday. One free coney per person per visit at participating Skyline locations.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Score big at Germain Toyota of Columbus and drive home in the 2026 Toyota Tundra for 2.99% APR for up to 72 months and $1,000 in Toyota financial cash. Germain Toyota of Columbus on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road or online at germaintoyota.net.
Columbus has a new football team, the Aviators. UFL football lands April 3rd. Be there for our home opener at historic Crew Stadium. Don't miss it. Get your tickets now at UFLaviators.com. That's UFLaviators.com. United, we fly.
It's 2026, the year you achieve your health goals. The Good Feet store wants to help. Trade in your bad feet for good feet. We want to help you walk, run, exercise, and play in comfort this year. Visit the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway near the Polaris Mall or on Stringtown Road in Grove City.
Last year, Eric Reeser and T-Bone staged the first annual Fan 5K. People had a good time and no one died. So we decided to do it all again. It all goes down Saturday, June 20th in Otterbein.
Presented by the Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center.
Will Reeser's muscular calves explode? Will T-Bone's beard choke him while running? More importantly, will Tyvis, Common Man, and Timmy make total fools of themselves? Maybe. Magic 8 Ball says signs point to yes. Register today at 971therace.com.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Weston Air Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
One of these guys still believes he can play in the NFL. It's T-Bone. He says it's because of his low center of gravity. He's dumb. This is Bone and Tyvis.
Coming up soon, we're going to be giving away Blue Jackets tickets. See them take on Carolina. Win a pair of tickets to see the Blue Jackets take on the Hurricanes March 31st at Nationwide Arena. Learn how you could join the Jackets on a once-in-a-lifetime trip to Montreal. Details at 971thefan.com.
Yeah, we'll get those ticket giveaways coming up, so keep locked in here to the Fan. T-Bone Tyvis, Matt Fontana in for T-Bone this morning. So the draft is around the corner. We're less than a month away. Actually, what was yesterday, legitimately 1 month to the draft. And all of this, like, pushing and narrative driving is happening. I just want to get Chris Sims out of the way because I really want to talk about Dan Orlovsky. Did Chris Sims really put Denzel Boston ahead of Carnell Tate and Jordan Tyson and Mekhi Lemon? Listen, I like Denzel Boston. Washington receiver. He's tall. He's big. I love him for the Browns at 24. There is in no way on God's green earth that he is ahead of Carnell Tate. And I mean, set Mekhi Lemon aside for a second because I actually have some concerns about him. There is in no way he's ahead of Jordan Tyson and Carnell Tate, talking about Denzel Boston. And people started ripping Sims on Twitter, Tyvis, because they started going back to his other rankings.
Yeah.
And, like, he had, like, Lucas Van Ness ahead of Will Anderson as edge rushers a couple years ago. So just take all that stuff with a grain of salt with Chris Sims here.
Clickbait.
It is.
I think the thing about this, though, like, when you're doing this, you have to be different. Like, because if everybody comes out there and just puts the same thing, it's like, it's boring. It gets no traffic. So you got to switch it up a little bit. And I think, well, he did a little bit too much. But, yeah, I think that's where he was doing.
I want to look at it and say, you got to look at this and believe, I want to say accountability, but when he does that, he obviously believes it. So when it doesn't come to fruition, then you got to look at, like, last year, he had Kyle Williams ahead of Tate McMillan as the best receiver in the draft a year ago.
Yeah, the guy's out of his mind.
I know. But are we going to hold him accountable for that? Or are we just going to look there and go, I guess to your point, you just got to laugh and go, he just likes putting this out there. Now, Dan Orlovsky, I actually believe that he has a reason to say that Ty Simpson is actually the best quarterback in this draft. So we've all been conditioned basically since the season ended that the Raiders are taking Fernando Mendoza because he is the best receiver, and here we are. Dan Orlovsky on ESPN yesterday, which is now bled into today because they just got done with a segment talking about it on Get Up. Orlovsky is pushing Ty Simpson as the best quarterback in this draft. Full transparency, they share an agent. So people are now trying to tie this into Dan Orlovsky being compromised in his evaluation of the quarterbacks and trying to push up Ty Simpson as being better than Fernando Mendoza. Tyvis, you're right. Guys like to do this because it's views and it's clicks and all this. I actually was reading some stuff yesterday that it's better for all the networks when quarterbacks get taken higher and there's better storylines. Because watch what happened with Shedeur Sanders a year ago. That was the opposite, right? Everybody was conditioned. The Browns were taking him at 2. And then the fall happens. The ratings are up for the draft because everybody's watching to see where Shedeur Sanders is going to go. Drafts and the NFL are better when there's drama surrounding quarterbacks, whether they're good or they're bad. That is a great driver for the network, for the league. But I actually, like, from a football standpoint, I kind of want to listen to some of what people are saying about Ty Simpson, because there is a world that he is he better than Fernando Mendoza? There's people that sit there and with the argument of the ceiling. Well, there's a chance Ty Simpson could be a higher ceiling than Fernando Mendoza. I'm not really buying all that, but I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued by Ty Simpson a little bit.
I think Ty Simpson will have a better career than Fernando Mendoza.
Whoa, on a Hot Take Tuesday.
I've said that multiple times. Just because of where Ty Simpson potentially will go versus to where Fernando's going. I think that if Ty Simpson goes and sits behind Matt Stafford for a year,
exactly
come on, he's going to be more set up for him to have success. So I think, to me, that's why I think Ty Simpson has it. Depending on where they're going, we'll find out when they get drafted where they go. But to me, the Raiders is not an ideal spot. Now, I know they got Tom Brady and they're trying to fix things and change things up and all of that things. But, again, when I watch Fernando Mendoza, unless they run an RPO, I don't think he's going to have a great first year. I hope I'm wrong. I do. I just think that when you talk about sitting in there making NFL throws and reading and doing all that, like, that's Ty Simpson actually is. You could turn the tape on and actually watch Ty Simpson do that. If you turn the tape on and watch Fernando Mendoza, it's all about RPOs and back shoulder throws and things like that. And I don't know. I just don't think that that's going to work all the way.
So it's funny with Simpson because the same thing. Like, let's start with the knocks. Number one, he was hurt. I know he played the whole season, but he was hurt for the majority of the season. You know, he doesn't have that overwhelming size that you kind of look for. But people talk about his footwork is very good. It's very polished. He was on an Alabama team that for the life of them could not run the football, and Ryan Williams dropped a lot of passes, right? So you have to factor all of that into the evaluation, and I think that's where teams, like any prospect, they're going to see what they want to see. They're going to discredit what they want to discredit. They're going to believe what they want to believe. And if you look at Ty Simpson, I don't just throw it away because I see some of it. The biggest knock for me is going to be that he's only started 15 games. And Mendoza doesn't have an extremely massive resume because he transferred into Indiana, and that's where he had his best success. Okay, fine. And there are guys that have been drafted off of one-year college tape and couple of games where they looked really good. There's something about Ty Simpson, and I don't know if I could say this about Fernando Mendoza either. Tyvis, I don't think they mastered the college game, so how can I sit here and expect them to master the pro game? Like, they elevated their teams to points, but I never looked at either one of those guys. I guess maybe Mendoza a little bit more than Simpson and said, wow, that's the best player on the field. That is the guy on the field right now.
Let me ask you this about Mendoza. When you were playing – last year, if you were going up against Indiana, what scared you the most about them offensively?
Oh, you're talking about? I thought you meant the Curtis Rourke here. I mean, honestly, it was the receivers. It was the run game.
The run game is the answer. Their run game was unbelievable last year, which allowed RPO to be the factor. Had a big factor that it did. Ty Simpson with Alabama. That was all on Ty Simpson's shoulder. They had no run game. The reason that they had the year they had was because of Ty Simpson. That's it. To me, I feel like he's proven it more. Where Fernando's best two plays last year was after he played trash for 3 quarters against Penn State, and then in the championship ran and scored a touchdown, but had 0 passing touchdowns in the game.
Lockdown.
So to me, I just don't understand. Those big moments right there, like the championship game, every game in the NFL is like that. And you produce 0 touchdowns with your arm. Like that, I can't get behind that.
No, I can't. And also, again, Omar Cooper and Elijah Surratt, 2 guys that are going to be not the second receivers taken, but are also very good wide receivers for that Indiana squad. So I get why the Raiders are taking Mendoza. I understand that. And it wouldn't shock me at all if Ty Simpson went in the first round because he is the second quarterback, and we see this all the time with guys that just get elevated because they're quarterbacks. Somebody had a great write-up about the quarterbacks that, like, everybody thought Malik Willis was going in the first round. He fell to third. Everybody thought Shedeur Sanders was going in the first round. He fell. This could be kind of the opposite, where it was kind of understood that Ty Simpson would be a day 2 pick, and now does he get elevated? Does the team take him because they get desperate? Or, to your point, he becomes a guy that kind of sits for a couple of years and is your lottery ticket in the future. All right, you want to win a bit of a lottery ticket. You want to win some tickets to go see the Jackets? Call now. We'll take caller 5 right now, 614-821-9710. That is 821-9710. We'll take caller 5 to win a pair of tickets to go check out the Blue Jackets for a game coming up. And again, don't forget about the Blue Jackets trip. You can head up to see them take on the Canadiens in Montreal. Go to bluejackets.com/fan trip. That is bluejackets.com/fan trip for that trip. But we got 2 tickets for a game coming up in the future. 614-821-9710. Caller 5 will take that for a pair of tickets. Go see the Jackets. Our crossover and a story that is just made for a future Disney movie. I'll tell you about it next right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Well, traffic is still really building over on the east side by Bryce and Reynoldsburg. A few crashes to talk about. The first one's going to be 70 westbound at Bryce Road, where 2 left lanes are still blocked out there. But we also have a new crash not too far away. It's that 70 westbound ramp onto State Route 256. So expect some lane closures this morning and those slowdowns as far back as Etna. That's a few miles of that stretch. For that detour, if you can, just get off 70 westbound, take East Main Street instead through Reynoldsburg, get you westbound towards 270. Once you get towards 270, head southbound that way, get you back going towards 70 westbound. I'm 10 TV's Brina Albizu with your fan traffic.
I knew that the first hour and a half of my day was going to be excruciating pain. I mean, it was so much pain, it literally brought tears to my eyes.
Dad to a prominent Ohio basketball family, Satch Sullinger was determined to find relief, and that's exactly what happened.
QC Kinetics, they are awesome. This is my body that they're using to repair itself. And so who wouldn't want to go for that?
QC Kinetics natural treatments got Satch's attention. Finally, a way to get rid of that pain in his knees without going under the knife. And best of all, they used his own healing properties to give him relief.
Since I've been having the treatment, I can go up and down steps. So I'm getting better. And my golf game shows it because I'm starting to hit the ball a little bit better now.
Find out if you're a candidate for QC Kinetics treatments. Go to qckinetics.com/Columbus and call today for your complimentary consultation. 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. Again, 208-4544. QC Kinetics.
Hi, I'm Chef Franklin Becker. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
Could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right. So we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Let me ask you something. When's the last time a contractor did exactly what they said they would? On time, on budget, didn't give you any surprises at the end. With Baths R Us, there are no surprises. These folks started in Ohio and grew by word of mouth because they do it right the first time. On time, on budget. And here's the difference with Baths R Us. They have local crews, never subcontracted. The people who show up to your door, they're trained Baths R Us employees. They aren't just some random crew that got hired last week and has no idea what they're doing in your home. Whether you need a safer bathroom to stay independent or you just want a space you're proud of, Baths R Us builds it to last. That's Baths R Us. Call today and see what it's like to work with people who actually keep their promises. 380-225-BATH. That's to call Baths R Us and deal with a company that started right here in Ohio and grew by word of mouth. Because they treat people right. They do what they say they're going to do. 380-225-BATH to call Baths R Us. Baths R Us. Bathrooms you can trust. Call now.
Hey, folks, it's Austin Ward here.
And it's Berm from the Austin and Berm Show.
Berm and I have both done Awaken 180, which honestly should tell people something right there.
Right. It tells you that if it can work for you and me, it can work for anybody.
Because neither one of us has exactly been out here living or were living like a fitness influencer.
No, not unless you count fitness fast food tacos in my mouth.
You treated fast food like it was a love language.
I loved it, and I still do.
And look, that's fair, but that's also why Awaken 180 works for people listening right now. You don't have to be perfect. You don't even have to know what you're doing.
No, what you need is a plan plan. You need someone to help bring you along, and Awaken 180 does that. They tell you what to eat, when to eat, and how to make it fit your life.
I lost 50 pounds with Awaken 180, then another 5 in free maintenance.
For me, it was 35. I'm in maintenance, and I'm under 200 pounds for the first time in 25 years.
This isn't just for some tiny group of people who already have it all figured out.
Nope, it works for real people with busy lives who are on the go just like us.
You know, if you're just tired of carrying that weight around, do what we did. It sounds like a lot of people out there can do exactly what Awaken 180 did for us.
Yeah, go to awaken180weightloss.com now.
President Trump has shown you are safer when strong leaders stand with law enforcement. That's why, as governor, Vivek Ramaswamy will partner with police to uphold our laws, keep dangerous criminals behind bars, and protect your family. Law enforcement knows Vivek has their back. That's why 65 Ohio sheriffs endorsed him, including Sheriff Stephen Lavorchek.
Safe streets don't just happen. They happen when criminals know tough leaders are in charge. Ohio law enforcement supports Vivek Ramaswamy because, like President Trump, Vivek supports us. Vivek will empower police to arrest violent criminals quickly and decisively, putting trained resource officers in every school and restoring law and order statewide, so our families feel secure in our homes and communities. Vivek's proudly endorsed by President Trump and Ohio law enforcement. Join us in supporting Vivek Ramaswamy.
Lower costs, bigger paychecks, better schools. Vivek Ramaswamy for governor.
Paid for by Vivek Ramaswamy and Rob McCauley for Ohio.
Tyvis has a bum wrist from playing football. Bone has a bum wrist from opening the heavy doors at Sheets. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
All right, we'll get to the buzzer about a story that I just know Disney's going to steal and turn into the Homeward Bound version number 3. We'll get to that in a second. Matt Fontaine in for T-Bone, Tyvis Powell, of course, Dylan alongside. Eric Reeser joins us, of course, Bishop and Friends, with a special guest host today coming up. But Reeser, we were just talking about this pedestal that Ty Simpson's all of a sudden being pushed up on, and Chris Sims is pushing Denzel Boston as receiver number 1. And I go to a tweet that I saw, I think it was Matt Miller, that said, don't get bored with good players. And I feel like that's exactly where we're at with the draft. The combine was weeks ago. The draft is still a month away. People are just starting to overanalyze and just come up with hot takes about player ordering and things like that.
Well, it's the time of the year to do that. But first, there's a Homeward Bound 2.
Yes, you never seen 2?
No, I didn't know it existed until today.
What?
I don't know how else to tell you that.
There's a what?
There's a Homeward Bound 2.
Homeward Bound 2? They get lost in the city.
I didn't even know it was a Homeward Bound anything.
Okay, well,
don't watch it. You will bawl your eyes out.
No, first of all, I haven't cried.
Oh, you're too manly to cry, huh?
That's facts. Yes.
Go watch the first Homeward Bound.
Yeah, watch Homeward Bound.
Go watch it.
Homeward Bound.
Watch it with your kids.
Is it a cartoon?
No,
it's live action. It's live action. Whatever, Reese, you're on this too. Whatever you want to bet, man, I will bet you're going to cry at the end of that movie.
You're going to get emotional.
No, I'm not.
You'll tear up a little bit.
It's about a dog?
It's about a dog. It's 2 dogs and a cat. I'm not going to spoil it. I want to spoil the ending for you because I want you to watch it.
This movie came out in 1993.
That's what I'm saying. I'm shocked. You and I are of similar age.
Air Bud, it was better.
Well, that's not the conversation we're having, Tyvis. We're not ranking 90s pet movies. We're just saying Homeward Bound's
That's
great.
a different show for another day because I have some hot takes.
That's the summer
dogs
topic.
Go to heaven.
Don't even get me started on that one. Don't even get me started on all. No,
guys, that's a June topic.
Old Yeller.
June topic.
We're in March.
Old Yeller.
We're talking about the NFL draft.
No, that's not 90s. That's not 90s. You said 90s. We're only doing 90s. Reese, the second one is. I'm assuming you've seen the first one then.
Yeah.
Okay. They go to a city.
Ah, okay.
And they get lost in the city. They actually join like a gang of dogs.
Of course.
And they have to avoid getting picked up by the dog pound. They get lost in San Francisco. Yeah, that's it.
I'm seeing this.
It's not as good as the first one, like most sequels are, but it's not bad. It's not. I have not.
Are these dogs talking in this movie?
Yes. Michael J. Fox is the voice of Chance.
He's Chance.
Yeah. And I think Sally Field's the cat.
She's sassy.
Sassy, yeah. Oh, you'll love. Long story short, Tyvis, and the reason I was going to bring it up, there was a story that I think it was like 7 dogs got kidnapped, basically. They escaped their captors and walked 17 kilometers back home, found their way back home. I was going to bring this up because I have a dog. I love my dog to death. Bro, he ain't making it back home. There's no way that my dog would make it 17 I don't know how many. Give me 15 miles, whatever.
You got to let the dog out more so it knows its surroundings.
He's escaped like 5 times.
Did he come back?
No. I found him at the neighbor's house. I had to go find him at the neighbor's house, running around like a man. The real bad one, it was funny. We're talking about the MAC tournament earlier. I was getting ready years ago. I was going to go call a basketball game. And I'm out of my house in a suit. And I realized that he got out of the yard. I'm running around the neighborhood in a suit, sweating my rear end off looking for this dog. That's my whole point. There's no way my dog would make it back home. There's no way. 15 miles? No way.
Little Max.
Would yours, Tyvis?
Little Max make it back. He's.
What kind of dog is your dog?
This is a miniature golden doodle.
Oh, okay, yeah. Reese, you got a dog?
I have a 7-year-old lab. He would not make it home. Odie's not doing that. I'm finding it the same way with you, Fontana. I'm finding him at the neighbor's house because they've tracked him down with peanut butter.
So my dog is Alvin, and he is a schnoodle. Yeah, he's a great. Everybody compliments that. We love that name for him. And he's like a 35-pound. He's all white. He's just a little guy, you know. And he usually only gets out when I forget to close the gate in our backyard. And the same thing. Same as your dog. I only ever find him at the neighbor's house. Like he's not. And maybe you know what, Tyvis, to your point, I've never given him the opportunity to come home, right? Like every time he gets out, one of our neighbors grabs us and either texts us, or one time he actually was like across the main street, which scared me. Him getting hit by a car or something like that. But
man,
I saw that article.
He knows where his food is. He'll be back.
Giving him too much credit.
That's what I'm saying. Listen, Max knows where his bowl of food is. He coming back.
The one time he got out, I said the same. I was like, no, but you live in the lap of luxury. Whatever you think is out there, it's not out there, man. It's not. You are living in this lap of luxury here. Don't give that up. But I wanted to bring it up for the buzzer. Do we have Dylan quickly hit the intro for the buzzer? Sorry, I already did.
Shove it down your throat. It's time for the buzzer.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Don't go through another air conditioner breakdown. For fast, friendly service, call the experts at Logan Services now for a free estimate and next day air installation.
So these pets were led by a corgi. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 dogs. Some of them look like it looks like a lab. A couple of mutts, but this little tiny corgi is walking them down the street, and they made it back home.
This was in China.
Yes, 10 miles. They made it 10.5 miles back home to their families. They were stolen, and 6 other stolen dogs on a 10-mile journey back home.
That's because
that's why I said
they knew where their food was.
That they knew how to. I don't know, and I know there's stories of like cats making it miles back home. My dog wouldn't make it. All right, Reese, you guys got plenty coming up. Special guest host on Bishop and Friends. We appreciate your time. Dylan, Tyvis, always love it, guys. Appreciate you having me back on. T-Bone is back tomorrow. Don't go on air. Bishop and Friends is next.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Over on the north side, the right shoulder is currently blocked on that 270 eastbound direction just as you're passing Sawmill Road. So just outside of Dublin is what you can expect out there. We also have a disabled vehicle still going on just north of Linden and downtown. It's the East Cook Road ramp area to 71 southbound. That right shoulder is still blocked. Backups as far back as that 71 and 161 area. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic. Have a great Tuesday.
The NCAA men's road to the Final Four hits the Sweet 16 this week. Thursday stops include the South region in Houston and the West region in San Jose. Then on Friday, the East doubleheader includes the overall #1 seed Duke Blue Devils taking on Rick Pitino's 5th-seeded St. John's. Don't forget what happens in Chicago with Michigan taking on Alabama. Hear Westwood One's exclusive coverage of the NCAA tournament right here.
Check engine, ABS, or maintenance light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. The service is free and provides a report with solutions verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we could recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Let me ask you something. When's the last time a contractor did exactly what they said they would? On time, on budget, didn't give you any surprises at the end. With Baths R Us, there are no surprises. These folks started in Ohio and grew by word of mouth because they do it right the first time. On time, on budget. And here's the difference with Baths R Us. They have local crews, never subcontracted. The people who show up to your door, they're trained Baths R Us employees. They aren't just some random crew that got hired last week and has no idea what they're doing in your home. Whether you need a safer bathroom to stay independent or you just want a space you're proud of, Baths R Us builds it to last. That's Baths R Us. Call today and see what it's like to work with people who actually keep their promises. 380-225-BATH. That's to call Baths R Us and deal with a company that started right here in Ohio and grew by word of mouth. Because they treat people right. They do what they say they're going to do. 380-225-BATH to call Baths R Us. Baths R Us. Bathrooms you can trust. Call now.
Forget the pot of gold. Save some green at all 4 Coghlan Kia locations. Get 0% plus no payments for 90 days on select new Kia Sorentos, Sportages, and Tellurides. Or buy a new 2026 Kia K4 for $279 a month. Visit CoglanKia.com.
Coghlan has the car for you.
0% APR available for 48 months on select in-stock units. 90-day deferred payments. 5 for $279 per month for 84 months at 5.99% APR with approved credit through Kia Finance. See dealer for details. Ends 3/31/26.
Hey, Columbus, big news. For a limited time, get Uber One free for a full year so you can save on food and rides. That's a $96 value on us. Just use code Columbus. Get 1 year of $0 delivery fees, 10% off eligible food and grocery orders, and up to 6% Uber One credits on rides. Sign up for this limited time offer today using code Columbus and save big with Uber One. Offer valid through 3/31/26. Savings and $0 delivery fee on eligible orders and rides only. Fees and terms apply. See app for details.
Some foot issues just can't be fixed by those expensive shoe stores or shoe inserts. A foot exam from a doctor of podiatric medicine, who is the medical expert in foot and ankle care, may give solutions after doing a complete foot examination. If you suffer from foot, heel, or ankle pain, let us help you find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association so you know you are being treated by the very best.
For more information or to find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit ohiofoot.org.
Hi, the Scott Antique Markets are back again at the Ohio Expo Center, featuring hundreds of vendors with collectibles and merchandise from all over the world. The market is one weekend monthly, November through March. Build your family heirlooms. You can find everything that gets old. Just take I-71 to exit 111 to enjoy America's favorite treasure hunt. Visit thescottantiquemarket.com for more information. Come join us at the Ohio Expo Center for the Scott Antique Markets. It's huge. It's the Scott Antique Markets this weekend.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios, driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. For the third year in a row, the Ohio State women's basketball team was knocked out in the round of 32 of the NCAA tournament. Despite 41 from Jelani Cambridge, Buckeyes lost to Notre Dame 83-73 Monday at the Shot. Fighting Irish will play Vanderbilt in the Sweet 16. Vandy eliminated Illinois on Monday. The men's Sweet 16 begins Thursday in San Diego. Purdue battles Texas at 7:10. Boilermakers are one of 6 Big Ten teams playing in the second weekend of the Big Dance. Just one game in the NHL last night. The Senators beat the Rangers 2-1. Ottawa's in the mix for a wild card spot. Big night Tuesday for the Blue Jackets, who occupy the third spot in the Metropolitan. With 12 games to play, CBJ will skate in Philadelphia tonight against the Flyers at 7. Hear it on The Fan with coverage at 6:30. Jackets are in Montreal Thursday, back at Nationwide Saturday against San Jose. This update is sponsored by Germain Toyota. For unbeatable service and sales, visit Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road or online at germaintoyota.net.
Your morning just got more interesting.